It's time for Massena Raider football on 92.9 WMSA. You can also catch tonight's broadcast via the WMSA mobile app. Download it and tell your friends around the world. Now it's time to send it over to Elijah Winfrey and Don Despot.
All right, we are here at Mike Nicholas Field ready for another Massena Raiders matchup today. It is Fallen Raider Day here for Massena Raiders, but we honor those who we unfortunately have lost, and we're hoping to honor them with a victory today against Section 7's Ausable Valley. We do want to thank a couple sponsors here for the pregame show. Want a safe place to go after school? Horizons Youth Clubhouse is a drop-in free youth center open to youths ages 12 through 17. Youths, that's not a word, but we'll count it. They are located on Main Street, right next to Town Hall. They are open Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check them out on Facebook for their daily activities and more. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Don Despot, the great one.
Well,
Johnny Despot.
Thank you, Elijah. And also CCOM Federal Credit Union with locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, Watertown, South Burlington, and Essex, Vermont. Check them out online, ccom.org, or mobile on your smartphone. Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition, developing plans and strategies that will reduce and prevent substance abuse and misuse among youth and adults in our community. MX Fuels, 22 Center Street in Massena, providing quality service at great prices here in Northern New York. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I want to thank Donnie Despot for that. And my friends, hey, if you are listening for the Massena Raiders, which I hope you are, a couple things you should know. First off, Division B, that's the division that Massena plays in statewide. Division B is over 100 schools. And right now we have got a lot of offensive players ranked in the top 30 when it comes to Division B. Again, Division B comprising of over 100 schools. Here are the leaders at the moment. Quarterback Connor Eastwood, he ranks 7th in Class B, I should say Division B. Running back Carter King, he is number 6 at the running back position in Division B. He plays for us. Wide receiver Dominic Murtaugh ranks 18th in Division B. Wow. Wide receiver Garrett Weir ranks 20th in Division B. Wide receiver Tapani LeBrake is ranked number 29th in Division B. So again, most of our offensive firepower ranked in the top 30 when it comes to Division B. Massena is currently ranked 30th in all of Division B with their 2-0 record, trying to get to 3-0. If they can do it, it'll be the first time the Raiders have started 3-0 since 2016. We had the pleasure of speaking with Coach earlier this week. This is the Coach's Show.
And we are here for the third edition of the Massena Raiders Football Coaches Show. I've got varsity football coach Taylor Zappia with me. I'm out here at practice. Coach, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for coming to practice again.
Hey, you know what? At least it's not raining.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should find wood to knock on. But anyway, you guys are 2-0 on the season. You're getting ready for Ausable Valley coming up on Saturday. It's a 1:30 kickoff. I've been told that we're honoring fallen Raiders that game, so you want everyone wearing red, right?
Yes, wear red. Honor your fallen Raiders. And yeah, just come show your support like you have been.
Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about, because I'm pretty sure you and I will be on the same page with this. When we have a home game here at Mike Nicholas Field, how loud do you want this place? Because I'd imagine you want that assistance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you're the 12th man. So yeah, I tell the guys on the sideline, and if you watch or know football, when we're on offense, maybe not so loud so we can hear the cadence, right? But when we're on defense, as loud as possible. That's always a help.
Now, you guys have got Ausable Valley. We'll get to them in a second, but we have got to talk about that victory in Potsdam, 41-30. Obviously, Potsdam, a much improved team. I'm sure they're going to have success throughout the rest of their season. What was the big takeaway for you, positive and maybe something that you're working on?
Yeah, that Potsdam team was just like every single year. They're tough. They're very tough. They run at you. And our guys really showed resilience, and they showed that we weren't gonna only match their toughness, but we were gonna overcome it and show that we were the tougher team on Saturday. I just challenge these guys to keep getting, and I've said it 2 weeks in a row now, the tougher team in high school football usually wins, especially in the North Country. So we need to show that not only do we have skilled guys, but we have guys that are tough and that are going to keep coming, for all 4 quarters.
And, of course, you guys obviously had a great game on the ground. Carter King with 3 rushing touchdowns. You know, I felt a little premature because I said after week 1 and 84 yards, I was like, hey, he put the section on notice, and then he went out there and had himself a career game, 3 touchdowns in one night. What does that say about him? What does that say about your offensive line?
The offensive line is awesome. We have some returners. We have some guys that stepped in there. We had some guys that stepped in there for 2 or 3 plays, and really, I don't want to name really any names right now because I don't want to leave anybody out. But really, that whole offensive line really got their chance to shine, and they showed that they weren't going to back down. It didn't matter if they were in there for one play or the whole game. They were going to keep moving forward. I told these guys, if you give Carter a yard, and now Gage is back in the backfield, if you give them a yard, he's going to turn into at least 7, right? So the only time he hasn't been successful watching film is when we don't create that new line of scrimmage. But these guys have, they've stepped up to the plate. They've really gone to battle for Carter, and they've established a new line of scrimmage. And Carter, being he's only been playing football for 2 years, which is just amazing. His ball security's been awesome these past couple games. He's got that ball high and tight, just like we teach him. He's got zero fear, right? He's one of the most courageous players I've seen, and he loves it. He comes off the field smiling. He loves the game, and it's easy to love wow, great play by Garrett Weir in practice. But no, it's easy to love the game when you're getting holes opened up like that by the offensive line. So
now let's talk for a minute, because if I'm not mistaken, you played linebacker in college, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to imagine that there was a big part of your soul that was very happy to see that 70-yard pick six from Cade Frigo from the linebacker spot, right?
Amazing, and it couldn't happen at a better time. That was a drive. They were driving on us, right? There was a drive where we couldn't really figure out that ISO. That quarterback was booting out really well. Sometimes I don't want to say you just get lucky, but your coverage is perfect, right? And when a play happens, you make it, and that's what Cade did, and that was just such a momentum shift in that game. And hard to believe he was a lineman on JV.
Making the big fellas awfully proud.
Making the big fellas awfully proud. But no, he was running like a 4.40 down the sideline. No, that was a huge momentum shift. I dare to say that might have sealed us the game there. There was still a lot of game to play after that, but that was huge.
So just real quick before we move on to Ausable Valley, I feel like I want to get your insight on what you thought of that Potsdam quarterback, Ian Van Wagner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a freshman, and he didn't look like a freshman out there to me.
No, absolutely not. The kid is obviously, everyone knows he's an amazing athlete. Just to be out there and being delivering passes the way he did, it was just super. Another amazing play by Garrett Weir in practice. No, but the kid is awesome. I couldn't imagine doing that as a freshman. It's not every day you see it. I think the last freshman we had was Chris Page, who was another awesome athlete for us. But no, it just kudos to him. He's got some great linemen protecting him, so he's got confidence to sit back there and make great passes. But yeah, kudos to him.
Now let's turn the page over to Ausable Valley. Obviously, you guys are 2-0. They're on the other side of the spectrum at 0-2. What unique challenge does an 0-2 team give you that you want fans to realize?
I'm just trying to preach to these guys that it was kind of our motto at the end of last year. It was 0-0 with 1 to go. We're a 2-0 team, but I told them, let's enjoy that Saturday night in Potsdam. By the time we get home, let's focus on the next week. And these guys have stepped up to that challenge. Of course, they're enjoying winning, but winning's not fun. It's hard. And these guys have bought into that process where they know a team that's 0-2. I've been in that situation before, right? It's odd because you do face a lot of pressure, and this is a team that's going to be really, really gunning for us. Coming in onto our turf, they're going to have some momentum as far as trying to steal a road game, and these guys have been really good at not thinking we're awesome. That's kind of the motto this week is we're 2-0 and we earned it, but we're 2-0 and we earned it, but we still have a ton to prove. So it's kind of keeping guys focused.
Now, Ausable Valley, obviously, folks always look for the keys to the game. And I feel like keys to the game in high school football are usually the same.
Sure.
Don't turn the ball over, don't get penalties.
Yeah.
But for Ausable Valley, what do they do? Let's start with offense. What do they do so that people know what to look for? From the games I've seen is they have the ability to
kind of run an offense similar to Potsdam and an offense similar to us. Not a lot of teams are two-dimensional when it comes to that. So I've seen the game they played against Mariah, they're almost exclusively in that tight end, two-back, kind of 21 personnel stuff. And I did see another game where they spread it out kind of in a similar fashion that we did. And I think the good thing defensively is that not only do we see that every day in practice because we run this kind of a spread, Saranac Lake ran a version of it, and now that we've seen Potsdam run kind of a wing, we've seen both aspects of that game. So it's not going to be anything crazy that our defense hasn't seen before. So I think the guys will be comfortable with alignments and stuff like that. But I do know Ausable Valley they always have big, tough kids. Mm-hmm. So again, preaching the toughness,
right? Not
backing down and just kind of going for 4 quarters. So.
Now, as far as their defense is concerned, I hear that they are anxious to start every play. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yep. Yeah, so you could kind of see in film they were running a version of it looked like cover. It was kind of hard to see. Again, the Mariah film we have, they were also in kind of like a Potsdam type 21 personnel. So they looked like they were kind of running a cover 3, a 4-4. I'm not sure what they're going to run against us. Obviously, that's the beauty of it, right? So we're going to prepare the guys for a 3. We're going to prepare the guys for a 4. We're going to have to take advantage of their alignments. I don't think they've seen a team spread it out like us. Hopefully we can take advantage of some alignment miscues, if you can say. Yeah.
So just real quick, for the folks at home, explain to them how easy or difficult, I guess you would say, that is to shift from a cover 3 to a quarters, because I know, like, offensively we always think of a team as an identity on offense, and that is what they are going to do, and then when they try to do the other thing opposite of their identity, they struggle. But it seems like defensively it's a little bit easier to shift around in high school, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's, again, I always say that, like, our cover 3 covers everything and nothing. It's easy for us as coaches to just say, hey, corner, you have deep third, free safety, you have middle third, but 4 verticals beats it, right? And what do you, coach, what happens if 2 guys run on my zone? Stay in the middle and be an athlete, right? So, defensively, going from a cover 3 to a cover 4, for us at least, it's just kind of moving a safety around. Same thing with going into man. It's finding that athlete. In our case, it's Garrett Weir. It's finding him and kind of moving him around to different spots. And by moving him, it lets us transition our whole kind of defensive core into different coverages. So it's definitely easier on defense to jump into different coverages.
All right, last question for you, Coach, and then I believe we'll have a special guest joining us too.
Awesome.
So I got to ask you, because I know the backstory with this, but I want people at home to know it. You and I were sitting next to each other at the football banquet last year, and we were kind of, joking around, chalking it up, because you guys have this underhand throw that you do where you motion somebody and it's literally just an underhand throw as soon as he goes past the quarterback. I've been telling people all year long that's a staple of your offense. Where did that staple come from?
Is it the jet sweep we're talking about?
I believe so.
We go in motion, we just toss it up in the air.
Right, where it counts as a pass, even though it looks like a handoff.
It counts as a pass. Yeah. So no, that's just something we saw. It must have been some college teams running it, and I'm always trying to adapt and kind of figure out the new stuff that people are running. And I think the big thing with that is it helps adjust for bad snaps. So Connor's not having to grab the bad snap and then find the running back's pocket. You can just kind of dead toss it in the air, and our guys are athletic enough to make the catch, and it lets them go faster. And also, if the ball gets dropped, it's an incomplete pass. It's not a fumble. So I think there's a lot of pros to it.
Well, that's the completion percentage.
The completion percentage.
I mean, come on.
Hey, a little bit inflated, but it is what it is. That's a pass. So.
That's right. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. I know you're going to go get us a special guest, so I'll keep talking while you do that.
Thank you.
And, folks, again, we have got Ausable Valley coming up here very, very shortly. We got one more person to talk to. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jim Morrill. He is making his way over here. All the players are looking at him going, where's Coach going to? He's coming over here to talk with me. And, Coach Morrill, first of all, how's it going, my friend?
Not too bad. Having a good day today.
Now, I know that you are the defensive coordinator for this team. I just got to ask you, through 2 games, how do you feel about that defense?
I think we're doing some things really well. There's definitely things that we're working on in practice, and we're making some mistakes, but we're fixing them in practice, and the boys are getting better. They're hungry for the ball. They're being dogs out there. They're going and making plays, and it's helping out, but there's a lot of things that we can perfect where we can shut teams down. and that's the plan. I don't like getting scored on. So.
Hey, I certainly agree with you. And I know that first week, because I haven't talked to you on the coaches show, so give me a second.
Yep.
On the first game, you guys had a unique task because you got to cover Mr. 6'7". Marcus Navarro, which credit to him. I think he's going to have a great year for Saranac. And then Potsdam, a different type of challenge where they're just going to run downhill at you. I know it's important to have these early season matchups so that it'll help you later on in the season, but where do you feel you've been able to kind of cherry pick some things and say, listen, fellas, this is what you're going to face if we get where we're trying to go?
Listen, I've had a couple sleepless nights since the Potsdam game, working on things that we need to fix. I'm obviously not going to say right now what we're going to do.
Right, no, I understand that.
We always scheme a lot of things together after we see teams, and we'll go back to the Saranac game. We've got a defense that we've been working on. We actually started perfecting it last year against Malone. And we took it into the Section 10 championship game last year, and we saw what we did with Justice McIntyre last year.
Right.
We shut him down, Mm-hmm. So it's all about not giving up that big play on defense, right? And keeping the ball in front of you. Don't give up the big play because teams make mistakes. And as you saw a couple times, we kept the ball in front of us, and we got some turnovers about it. So, and again, there's a lot of things that we're fixing as we go. We just got some depth back, so which is huge for us. Guys aren't going to be playing both ways as much. Guys are going to get some breathers. There's three really good athletes that came back this week. So I'm not going to give you names on that either.
Hey, no, I understand. Hey, I understand off the radio, but
yeah, definitely.
So obviously this Saturday we're honoring fallen Raiders. That's a huge deal. We want everyone wearing red. I asked Coach Zappia about the whole 12th man side of things. In high school football, sometimes you get people up in the stands and they're knitting a sweater or they're watching something on Netflix. You want the fans who show up on Saturday locked in, right?
Heck yeah. Friday Night Lights here in Massena, actually, we traveled so well last year, as you saw. It's nothing like playing in front of your crowd. It amps the boys up. It amps up us as coaches up. And it's a whole nother level, And to bring up the Fallen Raider game, all of us have family members that were once a Raider. My father, my uncle, Taylor's uncle. There's so much families that that we're going to honor this weekend, and it's a huge deal, So hopefully Ausable's ready.
All right,
going to be ready. So.
Well, hey, that is Coach Jim Morrow. You also heard from Coach Zappia. That's going to do it for this third edition of the Coaches Show. And, hey, I'll just let you know right now. I won't tell you who did it, but that was a beautiful pass right there. Hey, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, and we are back here at Mike Nicholas Field, and obviously want to thank Coach Morrow and Coach Zappia for their time, making sure that we could be out here today. And Donnie Despo, I'm just going to have you go over those sponsors one more time again for me, if you don't mind.
Yeah, CCOM Federal Credit Union with locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, Watertown, South Burlington, and Essex, Vermont. Check them out online, ccom.org, and mobile on your smartphone. And also Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition developing plans and, of course, strategies that will help reduce and prevent substance misuse among our youth and adults in our community. And MX Fuels 22 Center Street in Massena, providing quality fuels and service at great prices here in Northern New York. So we thank those sponsors making this broadcast possible. Also, Elijah, we're talking to, of course, Ausable Valley here visiting the Massena Raiders. And question I would have, what do you think about the defense?
Well, for Ausable Valley, it's interesting, Donnie. They seem to be anxious to start every play. And what I mean by that is their inside linebackers for Ausable Valley, they're always trying to jump the snap, something similar to what Troy Polamalu did a couple times throughout his career, where you would see him just basically forget the coverage and just run after the ball and hope that you get there, but, as the ball is being snapped, so you can have a big play. The issue with that, though, is whenever you misjudge the snaps, because then you could get a false start on your defense, or you could end up getting caught by an offensive lineman, and now you can't make the plays that you were hoping you could make. And so I kept seeing on film that Ausable Valley was getting caught out of position. quite a bit. But no doubt about it, they got heart. They certainly have some good athletes over there. But I feel like that's one thing that the Raiders could potentially use to their advantage today is the ability to draw them off sides, and we'll see if they end up doing that, Donnie.
It seems like maybe they're blitzing a lot. It's going to be said. It looks like a blitz.
Kind of. I feel like they want to be aggressive, but sometimes they're too aggressive,
right?
And that can come back and bite you.
Right. The offense, obviously, too many plays like that. They're gonna read those plays towards the offense for Massena. It's going to be interesting. And on the offensive side of it, don't know a lot about Ausable Valley, but did see their workout here. Just a little practice before the games, going through the motions, of course, getting limbered up before the game. So we'll see what happens. I know Massena, I'm really impressed with. They spread things out offensively and defensively with the ball. So got a good team. And again, like I was mentioned earlier, that they got 12 seniors this year, Massena. Last year, 17. This year, 12. So, but overall, just looking good. Of course, Carter King. I think LeBrake and King you'll see LeBrake maybe running some plays this game as well.
I think so. And you also have Gage Charleston coming back and playing for the first time in a while.
Wow.
So that's going to be a huge help to Massena.
Yes, it will.
Obviously, it's great when your team can be 2-0, when you've had some of your better players on the sidelines due to injury, because that shows just how deep the talent is here in Massena to be able to, keep the ship afloat, so to speak, until you get those reinforcements. And Massena's been doing a great job at it. But again, Gage Charleston, he will be playing number 24 tonight. He played on last year's squad. So we're looking for him to have a pretty big game.
The reason he didn't play, obviously, was that an injury, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So we haven't seen him since last year.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And he's a junior, which I do just want to go over here again since we have a little bit of time. Division B, that is the division that Massena plays in the state, okay? So if they were to get to the state championship game, they would be playing for the Division B state championship.
Right, yeah.
And Division B apparently is over 100 schools this year. And so when I read these stats out, this is very impressive. And I shouldn't say stats, I should say rankings. But quarterback Connor Eastwood for Massena, he is 7th in all of Division B. Running back Carter King is 6th in all of Division B. And then look at our wide receivers. Wide receiver Dominic Murtaugh, he is 18th in all of Division B. Garrett Weir is 20th in all of Division B, and Topani LeBrake is 29th in all of Division B. It's hard enough to get one player ranked that high, but it is really a testament to this coaching staff and these kids that we have that many ranked in the top 30, and obviously you got to give it up for the big fellas up front for Massena, because without them, none of those players would be able to be ranked as high as they are, because you got to have a good offensive line up front, which Massena does. And what I find so impressive about that is the fact that Massena has got offensive linemen also playing defensive line. So it's not like they get a huge break and then they go out there and they only have one job. Most of these kids have got 2 to 3 jobs on this team, and they're doing it very, very well right now.
Yes, yeah. They're very spread out. They do so many different things. Good running game, good passing game, quarterback. Connor Eastwood, of course. So many levels, like defensively and defensively. They're just spread out, and great team, Massena, this year. Yep.
And, of course, this is an interesting test. Obviously, Ausable Valley, they are 0-2, but as Coach said to you, for these kids, they can't be thinking about, hey, we could go 3-0 for the first time since 2016 to open the season. They can't think like that. They have to think like, hey, we are 0-0 with 1 to go. That's what Coach said. We are 0-0 with 1 to go, and Ausable Valley is in our way. That's what they got to do tonight. Because if they don't do that, Ausable Valley might surprise them, and that would be horrible, especially since this is a special day here at Mike Nicholas Field. If you're on the way to the game, remember to wear something red. If you have not gotten yourself something red to wear, you might want to turn the car back and go get yourself something red. Otherwise, you are going to stand out today. But we are honoring those who have unfortunately left us, and that's why we call it Fallen Raiders Day, and we're hoping on Fallen Raiders Day we have a victory from your Massena Raiders. That's what we're hoping for. right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get you introduced to the players. Here are the player intros.
It's time to meet this year's Massena Raiders varsity football team, the coaches.
Taylor Zappia, head coach.
Chip Morrill, defensive coordinator.
Michael Gardner, assistant defensive coordinator.
Jason Zombeck, running backs, outside linebackers.
Casey Simons, lineman.
Nick Morrill, receivers, corners.
The players.
Parker O'Neill, wide receiver and corner.
Dominic Austin, receiver, outside linebacker.
Donovan Turner, outside linebacker, wide receiver.
Connor Eastwood, quarterback.
Nolan Jensen, center.
Dominic Murtaugh, wide receiver, corner.
Penny LeBrake, cornerback / receiver.
Brandon Barnes, defensive end, guard. Carter King, running back, middle linebacker.
Gage Charleston, running back, outside linebacker.
Darian Coates, offensive tackle, middle linebacker.
Ethan McComb, right guard, DN.
Nathan Golden, running back, outside linebacker. Aiden Beckstead, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Owen Sires, center.
Jake Lindstad, left tackle, defensive end. Garrett Weir, wide receiver, strong safety.
Cade Frigo, tight end, outside linebacker.
Rylan Dodson, left guard, defensive tackle.
Travis Burnett, wide receiver, defensive back.
Frank Laughing, wide receiver, defensive back.
Corey Jarrett, outside linebacker, receiver.
Thomas Benham, receiver, defensive back.
Cole Boder, offensive line, defensive tackle.
Keegan DeRushy, right tackle and defensive end.
Nolan Hurlbut, offensive line, defensive line.
Dominic Sherman, running back, defensive back.
Gordon McEwen, wide receiver, defensive back. Jace Cargo, wide receiver, defensive back.
Martinez, running back, linebacker.
Lennox Pierce, right guard, nose for defense.
Massena, I've got one question for you. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah, we are ready for some football, that's for sure. And you know what? We finally timed it out correctly, Donnie Despa. It took us 3 games to do it, but we are dead on right now. And the players have already done the coin toss here, and now we're waiting for the pre-game introductions, which no doubt about it will start here momentarily. We should be able to carry the national anthem for you live. What we normally do, though, is we play you, for lack of a better term, a canned. That would be more perfect. I mean, hey, we timed it up great. But normally we'll play for you what I call a canned version or a pre-recorded version of the national anthem. That way it doesn't sound like silence. Right. So we're going to play that for you as soon as they start playing the national anthem here at Mike Nicholas Field. So that way we can make sure we encourage, that way we carry, I should say, the national anthem. So Tom Miller is back at the microphone, so it's going to sound like an echo tonight whenever the Raiders score some touchdowns. And, of course, you've got Tom Miller pumping up the crowd here at Mike Nicholas Field. All right, folks, here comes the national anthem. All right, we are back here after that wonderful national anthem, and it looks like the crowd is still filing in here at Mike Nicholas Field, getting ready for this Week 3 contest between your Massena Raiders and the Ausable Valley Patriots. The Patriots come in 0-2 on the season, looking for their first win, and you know they're hungry for it, Don Desloff.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure who they lost against, but 0-2. But, yeah, they've got nothing to lose. They come in here. They're going to give it their all, of course. And I was impressed, Elijah, too, with the juniors on the Massena roster. Quite a few juniors, great players, and you look forward to next year, seniors. So that'll be a plus.
And Massena's got great numbers at all levels of football. I was out here a couple weeks ago. I told folks about this on the radio, but we'll talk about it again. But again, Massena's JV squad had like 40 players out here. JV squad had 40 players out here. That's right. And I've heard Modified's got great numbers. Varsity's got great numbers. You got alumni coming out of every single corner to help Coach Zappia with this squad. And, you know, I got to say, that to me is really awesome to see. You know, when you have everybody buying into what a coach is trying to do and everybody's helping, you know, move this thing in the right direction, that's what you want. You know, a lot of other programs, unfortunately, have like a head coach who's doing everything they can, and they're not getting the support. That's not an issue for
you out there,
right? And a lot of those folks are alumni too, right? So it's great to see. But it looks like, I believe, Massena is going to be kicking off to Ausable Valley here in a moment. The referees have the kids change sides of the field, so Massena will be, in fact, kicking it off to start this game, and I believe Dominic Murtaugh is going to do the honors of kicking this ball off. The kids are ready to go here, so I think we are also ready to go, my friend, if I'm just going to make sure we are all set. Yes, we are. Okay, so we are ready for Massena. Here comes the kick. Oh, it's a little bit of a bump kick. Could Massena get it? Carter King down to the 20, down to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Raiders! Touchdown Raiders!
That was...
And they're saying, okay, apparently no touchdown. That's what Vic Perry's saying. But it was an onside kick. I guess you can't advance that. That's what I'm being told. But it was one of those kicks where Ausable Valley had a couple of hands on it, and Carter King was on top of that ball. He took it, ran it into the end zone, obviously, because that's what you would assume to do. But again, they're saying no touchdown on that. But Massena does get the ball, I guess technically an onside kick. So Massena is going to have the ball at the near hash. It's going to be at the 30, we'll call it 37-yard line of Ausable Valley. So for Ausable, disaster right out the gate. That's not what you want for Ausable Valley. But for Massena, they got the ball on the near hash on the Ausable Valley 37. They're going to put Garrett Weir in motion. They're going to toss it to him. Garrett Weir going to the outside of the field. He cuts around the corner to the 30. Down to the 25, close to the 21. There's that play once again. It's not a handoff, it's a pass. So first down Raiders there as you hear Tom Miller. It's going to sound like an echo in this press box, but we'll take it. I missed it a couple weekends ago. I did not get to do this with Tom Miller, so excited to see Tom Miller and Corey Snyder back in the booth for Massena. So 11:35 and counting here in this first quarter scoreboard, which is the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard, yes. So here we go. First down and 10. They're going to put LeBrake in motion. They're going to hand it off to Carter King. Carter King is going to try to run downhill, but he will get stopped by that Ausable Valley defense. Gain of about 2 yards there for Massena. And the ball is on the far hash of the field. Again, to start this game right out the gate, it was kind of a squib kick, and Ausable Valley touched it. Then Carter King was able to recover it. So for Massena, able to steal a possession, and they will also get it back to start the second half because of that.
Yep.
So there you go. For Massena, second down and 8 here. Ball at the Ausable Valley 20. They're going to hand it off to Carter King. Carter King going to try to run forward, but he will get hit in the backfield. A big play there.
You don't see that often.
You do not. That is correct, Donnie Despa. I believe that was 59 for Ausable Valley who did that. So that's going to bring up a third down and 8 for Massena. 10:26 and counting left to go here in this first quarter of play. 0-0 in the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard. Here we go. Third down and 8. What has Massena got? They're going to put LeBrake in motion. And we're going to get a flag here because too many people were in motion, I believe. So that's going to back up Massena, if I'm not mistaken. So after having the big play there on the kickoff, Massena still trying to kind of find themselves here as we go here on this first drive for the Raiders. A pretty good crowd is in here at Mike Nicholas Field as the Massena Raiders are 2-0 in the year. Ausable Valley 0-2. Massena trying to go to 3-0 for the first time since 2016. Donnie Despot and I believe they can do it, but they do have a tough test today. It's not going to come easy against these Ausable Valley Patriots. 9:57 left to go here in this first quarter of play. Eastwood going to drop back to throw. He's going to throw it out to the near side of the field to Carter King. Carter King's got a full head of steam. Here he comes. He's still running, and I don't know. I don't think he's going to get the first down, but he did get some pretty good yards there. Gain of 6 yards on 3rd and 13. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 7. Don Despot, you think they go for it?
Yes.
All right, so that ball, by the way, is going to be on the 19-yard line of Ausable Valley. 4th and 7 from the 19 of Ausable Valley. Ball on the near hash. Eastwood in the pistol. He is going to get the snap. He's going to drop back to throw. He's going to look to the far side of the field. Pumps once. Throws it deep. Here we go. Oh, just outside. Almost has a break there in the end zone. That's going to be a turnover on downs. And for Ausable Valley, they take a big, deep breath. They take a big, deep breath after that one, Don Despot, because that could have been bad.
Ausable Valley defense, pretty impressive. There's some big boys down there. Yeah. So...
And on that play, folks, it was literally just a fraction off there between Eastwood and the break. I'm telling you, big plays are coming between those two. It's just going to be a little bit, that's all. But I will say Ausable Valley takes over on offense. They are led out by a senior quarterback, Goodman. That is their guy. And we'll see how he ends up doing. Porter Goodman, that's their quarterback's name. They're coming out in a different type of formation. They got a fullback and 2 running backs behind them. And here we go. They're going to hand the ball off to one of their running backs, number 21, and that is going to be a gain of, I want to say, about 4 or 5 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
John Fletcher, the
running back for Ausable Valley. Thank you, Donnie. 8:49 left to go here in this first quarter of play. In the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard, it is 0-0. Remember, North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillips Street in Massena. North Country Savings Bank, you make it North Country, we make it a bank. 0-0. That's what's on the scoreboard right now here at Mike Nicholas Field. Raiders had an opportunity, but unfortunately had to give it up on a turnover on downs. Now Ausable Valley from their own 20-yard line, ball near the near hash. Quarterback under center. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to 21 once again. I believe that's Fletcher. Fletcher going to get hit by Michael Martinez and Carter King, and not much gain. He did gain a little bit, but it was close to destination nowhere, my friend.
That was like it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, we got to get those big fellas up front some destination nowhere shirts, because they're not letting anybody gain anything on them this season, that's for sure. 8 minutes left to go here in this first quarter of play.
You have the ability to do that.
I do have the ability to do that. You're right. Don't tempt me, Don Despot. 7:51 and counting left to go. 3rd and 6 here for Ausable Valley. Their quarterback is still under center. He is going to toss it out wide, but this whole play is coming to a stop, because there is a flag on the play, I do believe. And I think Ausable Valley false started, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see, though. It is going to bring up a 4th down for Ausable Valley, and they're going to bring out some folks for their punting unit.
Yeah,
I believe that last play was actually considered an incomplete pass.
Okay.
So that's why that was. It wasn't a flag. It was an incomplete pass on that, because he tossed it to the running back, but it was going forward. So, okay, here we go. Ausable Valley's punter is going to pick it up from the ground there. Not a great snap. And that ball's going to bounce to the 50, bounce to the 40, go down to the 35, down to the 30. Yeah. So what looked like was a bad punt actually turned out to be a pretty good one. So there we go. Massena is going to start their second offensive possession from their own 30-yard line. We'll see how the boys do here as they come back out. But defensively for Massena, Don Despot, what did you see?
Well, I thought they did what they always do. Every man up, as a team. Linebackers, everybody's just doing a great job. Stop the run, stop the pass, and they did what they're supposed to do. Very impressive, Elijah, that first, couple minutes of the...
And I have to say, Ausable Valley's got an interesting offensive formation. I did not see that one on tape. Yep. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So he's going to put a man in motion. It's LeBrake. He's going to throw it out there to LeBrake. We got whistles, and that is going to stop this play a flag. It's going to be ball start against Massena.
I've seen that in the NFL, like the way they're lined up, but I've never seen it in high school. Like, you're right, the way they were.
I haven't seen that formation that Ausable ran since I was down in Georgia. But basically, it's one fullback down, okay, and then two running backs behind him. It's almost I want to say it's almost like almost like a wishbone in a way, but I don't want to call it wishbone. That's a little different,
right?
Usually it's used by smaller schools that don't have like 300-pound linemen.
Right,
okay. But here we go. It's going to be 1st and 14 for Massena. They're going to put LeBrake in motion again. They're going to throw it out to him. LeBrake has got it. He's going to cut inside, now cut back to the middle of the field, and he got some yardage there. It's not going to be a first down, but it is going to be, I want to say, about a 4-yard gain, I want to say. Or excuse me, Tom Miller's saying a gain of 8, so we're going to go with Tom's number. I like it better. 8 yards there. So it was 2nd and 14. Now it's going to be 2nd and 8 for Massena. And it's hard to tell sometimes the yardage because Massena's offense is a lot of east-west action. Yep. So here we go. Ball's going to be on the near hash. They're going to put a man in motion. That's LeBrake once again. They're going to hand it off, though, to Carter King. Carter King coming downhill. He's going to get past the 40, close to the 45, and that's going to be a first down for the Raiders there as Carter King once again picking up some yardage, enough for a first down for Massena. That is why he is number 6 right now in Division B. Over 100 schools, and we got the 6th-ranked running back here at Massena. You should be proud of that at home.
Haven't seen Gage Charleston yet?
We have not seen Gage Charleston yet. Hopefully we will, though. Garrett Weir is going to get the ball here, and he is going to run downhill. He's got some running room and another first down for the Raiders. We are now in Ausable Valley territory after that pass because it does count as a pass on that play. That's a jet sweep, but it counts as a pass. Garrett Weir just, again, he gets motioned, he goes in front of the quarterback hands it to him, and then Garrett Weir does what he does best, which is gain yards for Massena, enough for another Raiders first down. Here we go, 5:39 left to go here in this first quarter of play. Ball at the Ausable Valley 45. They're going to put LeBrake in motion. They're going to hand it off to Carter King. Carter King is going to get worn down, though, and kind of Ausable Valley doing their own destination nowhere on that. That's number 50 for Ausable Valley. That would be Jesse Snow there on that tackle. He was able to get in the backfield and rip Carter King down. Don Despah, that does not happen a lot.
They're keen on, King, of course, they've watched, Massena play or films and stuff, and it shows right now. So you'll see a different strategy, I think, for the running.
2nd and 11 here for Massena. They're going to toss it out to Garrett Weir to the near side of the field. He's going to try to find some yardage, though. And I think he may have fumbled at the end of that play, but they're going to say he's down.
Couple yards, maybe Elijah, 2 yards.
I think he may have actually lost a yard there, Tony, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's going to be a 3rd and 12, or 3rd and 11 now. 4:40 left in this North Country Savings Bank scoreboard. It is Massena 0, Ausable Valley 0. We're here at Mike Nicholas Field to honor fallen Raiders and hopefully see Massena go to 3-0 for the first time since 2016. But right now they got a tough Ausable Valley squad that they're trying to deal with here. Ball towards the near hash. It is 3rd and 11. Eastwood going to roll to the far side of the field. He's got a man. A perfect pass there to Penny LeBrake, and that is going to bring it from the 45-yard line down to, I want to say, the 25, 27-yard line of Ausable Valley. It was a beautiful-looking throw there, and Tabani LeBrake had the toughest job of all to catch the ball, and he did so. Massena's got some really good catchers of the football, obviously, with 3 wide receivers ranked in the top 30 of all of Division B, which, again, is over 100 schools. So first down for the Raiders here. From the 30-yard line, LeBrake is going to get the pass here, and he is going to run down to the 25 of Ausable Valley. And that was about a 5-yard gain there for Massena. Again, one of those plays, that jet sweep play, it seems to work a lot. So 23-yard line is where we're calling this for Massena. 23-yard line of Ausable Valley. Ball on the near hash. Eastwood in the pistol. He's got Carter King behind him. He is going to take the ball, drop back to pass. He's going to look to throw it deep. He's got somebody down there, and I think that was a touchdown.
Yeah, I think so.
Dominic Murtaugh, touchdown, Raiders!
Absolutely.
Dominic Murtaugh, a huge touchdown catch there, and that is why Dominic is ranked in the top 30. In fact, he is number 18 of all of Division B as a wide receiver this year, and he's got himself another touchdown.
Nice.
3:21 in the first quarter. Eastwood to Murtaugh. Write it down. And I got a feeling you're going to be saying that a couple more times this season.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 6-0. Let's see, though. I believe Mason Deshane is actually going to stay on the sidelines for this one. They're going to try a two-point conversion. Eastwood dropping back to throw. He's got Weir out there. It's caught. It's good. That's going to make it 8-0 for the two-point conversion. 8-0 now on the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard with 3:21 left to go here in this first quarter, Donnie.
That's what I like about the team this year. Running, we have a few problems. Okay, well, we'll just pass it. They have those weapons. They can do that this year. And they could do it last year, too, Massena. So, yeah, that's beautiful. That was a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Beautiful catch by Murtaugh.
It's interesting because I remember last year's squad very fondly, obviously.
Yep.
And I know that last year's squad, they came out the gate being competitive but losing close games.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they figured it out, it was like, okay, watch out, because here we go.
Yeah.
And this year's squad, I feel like they were able to build off that.
Exactly.
And now they're coming out, ready to go here.
Yeah.
Now, Massena's lining up to kick it off again here. Last time they kicked it off, Ausable Valley touched it, and Carter King was able to get it. So will we see an inadvertent onside kick on this? Let's see.
Never know.
Murtaugh is going to do the honors of kicking it off here. Here comes the kick. It's a deeper kick.
Yeah.
And number 5 for Ausable Valley is going to get it from the Ausable Valley 20. He's going to run it here to the Massena 40 and fumbles out of bounds, and there is a flag. Number 5 for Ausable Valley is Marcus Brown. He plays wide receiver and defensive back. Pretty good return there, but I wonder if the flag is going to bring it back a little bit for Ausable Valley. We're looking over to our rules coordinator, Vic Perry. It's funny because I think Fox has Dean Blandino. We have Vic Perry. So, Vic, is that against Ausable Valley? Is that against Ausable Valley? Okay, it certainly is. There we go. We want to thank our rules coordinator, Vic Perry. And it's also Vic's birthday today. All right.
Happy birthday, Victor.
He takes no days off. He takes no days off.
Oh, my Lord. All right.
All right, so that penalty against Ausable Valley, that means Ausable Valley going to be at the 29-yard line, their own 29-yard line to start this drive. Ball going to be on the near hash here as Ausable Valley comes out. I'm looking to see, will they be in that formation again? They will not from the first drive. Instead, it looks like more like a traditional I formation from what I can see. They're going to toss it out to number 2 here for Ausable Valley. He is going to see a sea of red. Take it down, and one of our guys came up with the ball at the end there. That was Carter King, but I think they're saying that running back was down. Number 2 here would be Sean Hosler for Ausable Valley. But again, Carter King just seemingly finding the football today. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come. We'll see. But again, they did call that down on the field there. So it will be 2nd down and 9 now for Ausable Valley. Quarterback Goodman going to drop under center. He's got a fullback and a running back behind him. He is going to hand it off to that running back, and Massena is going to tackle him. In fact, Carter King in on the tackle. So Carter King getting mentioned a lot today, and, hey, he's going to keep getting mentioned as long as he keeps doing stuff, right? 2:20 left to go here in this first quarter of play, which feels like it has flown by, my friend. Both teams really keeping the ball on the ground, so that clock just keeps ticking, as Chris Berman would say. 8-0 here. Massena with the lead in the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard over Ausable Valley. Ausable Valley, though, they got the ball on the far hash, near the far hash, I should say. Quarterback's under center for this 3rd and 5. He is going to drop back. First time they're trying to throw today. Let's see what he's got. He's now going to try to run to the near side, and he is going to get hit close to out of bounds there by Eastwood, and there's the flag for it. I thought there might be. Eastwood, unfortunately, he plays defense and quarterback, and on that play, he hit the quarterback. We had quarterback-on-quarterback violence on that play, And Eastwood's going to get the flag because of it. Just a little bit too close to out of bounds there. But I will say, if Eastwood didn't get him, there was a couple other Massena Raiders who would have got him.
Yep.
So that's a good sign. But for Ausable Valley, they tried to roll out to throw the ball. Then their quarterback, Goodman, decided to take off and run. But it will be a first down because of the penalty. So that is going to move Ausable Valley forward. I believe that's their first down of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how things line up for them on this next play. In fact, where they're placing the ball is going to be at the 49 of Massena. So that is a significant penalty that goes against the Raiders there. So ball is going to be on the near hash. Goodman for Ausable Valley is going to drop under center. He is going to get the snap. He's going to hand it off to Snow. Snow is going to fall to the ground as he gets tackled by a couple of different Raiders. But there's another flag on the play. It has become Flagapalooza so far early in this game. And that is going against Massena. The one thing you can't do is just have all these different penalties. But, again, it's another penalty against Massena, and that is going to drive Ausable Valley forward once again. They were at the 49. Let's see how far this one gets them.
Everything from Ausable Lights has been running so far, pretty much.
It certainly has, outside of the one pass, yeah. And even that one pass attempt turned into a run. So that is another 15 yards for Ausable Valley.
15.
And that is going to make it
that could be
first and 10 for Ausable Valley from the Raiders' 34-yard line. So already 30 yards in penalties here on this drive against the Raiders, which obviously helps out Ausable Valley. Ausable Valley going to drop their quarterback under center. He's going to hand the ball off to the far back. The far back is going to try to get a couple yards there, but he's going to get hit by Garrett Weir. I also see Darian Coates on the play. I also see number 72 on the play for Massena. That would be Ryland Dodson and Jake Lindstedt. Everybody getting in on the action on that play for Massena. Probably could have called the whole defense, but we don't have time for that.
Yep.
So lots of Raiders, getting in on that play, trying to take out a little bit of their frustrations. 49 seconds and counting left to go here in this first quarter of play. For just joining us, John Despal, Elijah Winfrey on the call for you for WMSA Radio in Massena. And right now, the Raiders got an 8-0 lead over the Ausable Valley Patriots. Ausable Valley, though, going to pitch it to the outside of the running back Fletcher, and he is going to get to the Massena 30-yard line, I want to say. It's close, but it's not a first down. So we'll see what third down brings for Ausable Valley. I believe it's going to be 3rd and 4, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, 3rd and about 7. They are going to that far side, so that does, get me in trouble every once in a while. But 3rd and 7 for Ausable Valley. 8 seconds left in this first quarter. I think they're going to wait to the second quarter. But after 1 quarter of play in the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard, it is Massena with a 8-0 lead over Ausable Valley. They got there from an Eastwood to Murtaugh touchdown and then an Eastwood to Weir 2-point conversion. And so far, the big players we warned you about for Massena have shown exactly why we did so.
Massena's not looking past Ausable Valley like Coach Sappy had said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we're 2-0, they're 0-2, but hey, another game, another day, so you know.
And I will say,
very seriously.
I will say that, there is an opponent to look forward to next week. You got Malone coming to town next week. And I think
interesting. I'm excited to see what they look like, Elijah, this year, after last year,
I think it's going to be a battle of 2 of the best quarterbacks in Section 10. I've been saying that, though, for the past couple months, between Logan Peck from Malone and Connor Eastwood from Massena. But again, that's us as fans. We have the ability to look up and down the schedule however we want. So for the team, they got to focus on Ausable Valley, because if they don't, then this will be a disappointment. So we'll see what happens here in this second quarter of play. It's going to be a 3rd and 7 for Ausable Valley. Ball's going to be at the 31-yard line of Massena as we resume play here. And for Ausable Valley, they've gotten, like I said, 30 yards of penalty yards on this drive from late hits, which is unfortunate. But again, it does happen from time to time. But this is a side of Massena we have not seen yet this year, where we've had 1 penalty become 2, become 3. So hopefully, and I know they can, settle the guys down a little bit and get them refocused here. So we'll see. 3rd down and 7, though.
Great day for football, Elijah, but a hot one, like 70 right now, 72. A lot of drinking going on down there, Gatorade or water, whatever. Yep.
So 3rd down and 7 here for the Ausable Valley Patriots.
3rd and 7.
They got the ball, like I said, at the 31-yard line. Their quarterback's going to be under center once again. He is going to draw offsides Massena. And they were able to draw Massena offsides there, so that is going to be some more penalty yards on this drive. And I got to imagine that the coaching staff from Massena is just not happy about that as they actually take a timeout. But we actually have a timeout on the field here. Massena addressing the troops, the coaching staff getting in there, probably telling the guys, hey, settle down. You're good enough. You don't need to try to do that type of stuff.
Right. Yep.
But again, this is one of those, things. We haven't seen it yet this season, but now it's coming into play. Ausable Valley, I got to tell you, offensively for Ausable Valley, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but they have not really done a whole lot yet. We've been helping them out more than they've been actually gaining yards. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a 3rd and 2, by the way, when we resume play. But Coach Zappy is in there talking to the guys. Coach Morrill's in there talking to the guys. Michael Gardner's in there talking to them. So, yeah, I'm sure they're trying to settle the fellas down just a little bit. But we are going to start this second quarter of play over again, as this is 3rd and 2 here. Ball's going to be at the Massena, we'll call it 26-yard line, 3rd and 2. I'd imagine we'd see a run here, but we'll see. Coach Appia did say that, Ausable Valley, they've done a bunch of different offensive formations this season already, and I believe their 2 losses came to Plattsburgh and Moriah, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go, 3rd and 2 for Ausable Valley. They're going to hand it off to number 2 for them. And Massena's going to push him back. We'll break it on that play. I believe that forward progress helped him, but I don't know if he got there. We'll see if they move the chains, though.
I don't think so.
But I saw LeBrake and Carter King in on that tackles for Massena.
Yeah.
11:37 and rolling here on this Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard. It will be a 1st down for Ausable Valley. They were able to get it.
Okay.
And number 2 for them is Sean Hosler on the play. So I believe that was who ran that ball for them, if I'm not mistaken. But Blevins Two-Way Motors, your Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealer, 98 Center Street in Massena. I want to thank them for helping us bring you this contest between Massena and Ausable Valley. It is 1st and 10 here. Ausable Valley is going to try to hand it off, but we've got another flag. My good, Flagapalooza.
We brought extras, so we brought extras.
We brought extra flags today, just in case. There's not a flag shortage here in Massena, that's for sure. And this is where I just got to put it out there, okay? I just got to put it out there. If we could get a local laundromat to sponsor the flags this season, we would love to have you step up and do so. Because then we can say the Dirty Laundry is brought to you by whatever your business name is. Come on, let's work together, I'm just saying. All right, Ausable Valley going to hand it off. Ooh, he got hit hard. And he is being driven back here. Jake Lindstad, Michael Martinez, Garrett Lear, and I want to say Gage Charleston in on that tackle as well. It wasn't really a tackle. They hit him and stood him up. And the referees obviously said forward progress has stopped. So let's go ahead and blow that whistle. That's going to be a 2nd and 15 here for Ausable Valley. And, again, this drive, which has been helped out by a massive amount of penalty yards, is starting to stall. So let's see what happens here for Ausable Valley. They got the ball towards the near hash of the field at the 27, we'll call it. Quarterback Goodman going to drop back to throw. He's going to throw it out. He's got his man. And number 9 for Ausable Valley, that would be Riley Turnbull. And Turnbull, if he was able to turn upfield, he would have had more yards, but he kind of tripped over himself after making the catch. But that is going to get him closer. 3rd down and 12, so a gain of 3 from that passing play from Goodman to Turnbull for Ausable Valley. But Massena did apply some pressure on that play. Almost got to the quarterback in the backfield there. 3rd and 12, I'd imagine that we'll see another passing play for Ausable Valley.
That's what I'm thinking.
Ball is going to be on the far hash at the Raiders' 25-yard line. Ausable Valley, quarterback Goodman under center. He's going to look to throw, but he actually hands it off.
Well, I'm surprised.
And number 51 for Massena is going to corral him, and that would be for Massena, number 51. And I'm looking here on my roster. I do not see a number 51. So maybe that is somebody else who was brought up. But a 51 there on that play. And a gain of about 3. So it's going to be 4th and 9 now for Ausable Valley. 8:55 and rolling here on the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard. Massena up 8-0 over Ausable Valley. But Ausable Valley is still driving this football. I imagine they're going to go for it and not punt. Ball's going to be here at the 22-yard line. 22-yard line here. Ball in the far hash. Goodman for Ausable Valley going to drop under center. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to chuck it deep. We got somebody back there, and Murtaugh breaks up the pass. Almost intercepted, but he did break up the pass, but we have another flag on the field. We have another flag on the field after that. And
That might be going against
Massena, unfortunately, as Donnie says.
Yeah.
What did you see on that one, Donnie, for the flag? You think it's holding? Everybody here in the press box thinks it's holding, so we'll see if we're all right. Oh, holding. So it's holding against the Patriots, which means Massena gets the ball. So, hey, they can get flags, too. That's good to see. 8:28 here in the second quarter of play. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Massena. Ball's going to be on the far hash on the 22-yard line for Massena. Massena with the lead, by the way, in the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard. 8-0 Massena over Ausable Valley. Eastwood going to bring the troops out. The Raiders are in shotgun formation. They're going to put Weir in motion. They're going to give it to Weir. Weir's going to try to break up the middle of the field here. He's going to get a couple yards, and there's the flag once again. It is Flagapalooza 2023. So you thought we were only going to do it one season. We brought it back. But I will say, and this is a silly thing, but I will say there was a lot of air on that flag. So I don't know who that referee was, but he's been working out in the off season. I got to tell you. I mean, that unsportsmanlike against Ausable Valley. So we are doing we're doing the hokey pokey here at Mike Nicholas Field.
I did see some shenanigans going on here, so yeah.
What did you see shenanigans like?
Bad sportsmanship.
All right. 1st and 10 for Massena. Ball.
Much so, Elijah, I don't believe.
Right. Ball here towards the middle of the field. And we are at we'll call it 39-yard line to be safe. Eastwood is in the pistol. He is going to toss it out to Gage Charleston. Here comes Charleston. Down to the 40, down to the 45, I should say.
To see him in the game.
And there's another flag.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just looking at Vic.
We're looking at Vic Perry, and Vic Perry right now. I mean, Vic, the dead ball foul, you said? We were just looking at you for how many there's been, that's all. But we were told it's Vic's birthday, so we're celebrating by throwing every flag in this place. That's 8 flags. 8 flags so far. Vic's keeping count over there. I appreciate that. But, hey, I do also want to throw out there, as we do every game, we are very thankful for these officials. Unsportsmanlike called against Massena, so that is going to be a penalty going against Massena. And we'll see here because that's going to back us up. We were going to be at our 45. Now we're going to be at the 30-yard line of Massena. 2nd and 19, I guess. That's what I'm being told. 2nd and 19 for Massena. And here we go. Eastwood in the shotgun formation. He is going to hand it off to Charleston. Charleston is going to come running here. I would have thought that would have been a horse collar there, but it is not called. Number 2, Sean Hosler, literally brought Gage Charleston down. Gage Charleston, literally his shoulder pad right now is the evidence. One shoulder pad's where it's supposed to be. The other one is up. So that was definitely a horse collar, not called there. 7:14 now rolling here in the second quarter of play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 15. We know we can throw the ball. Will we do so here Ball on the near hash. Eastwood in the shotgun. Carter King by his side. Carter King going to toss it to Garrett Weir. Weir coming downhill to the 40, down to the 50. Here we go. To the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Raiders! There is a flag, though. I said no. There is 2 flags on the field. So there's a flag on the field and an Ausable Valley player down on this play. Now, it was supposed to be a trick play where Eastwood hands it to Carter King. Carter King hands it to Garrett Weir, and Garrett Weir comes around like a reverse. Yeah. And that reverse successfully got to the end zone, but we got 2 flags here and a player down. So, obviously, most importantly, we hope this player is okay. 6:48, that is where we are right now. I believe the flags will end up being on Massena. I think it's going to be blocking the back, and I think, but that's because I'm being told that by Vic Perry, so I can't take credit for that one. 6:48, that is where we are right now. And, again, our thoughts with this Ausable Valley player who is down on the field. Yep. While they take a moment to do that, Don Despal, let's obviously thank the folks who have made it possible for us to be out here.
And a huge thank you goes out to Seacom Federal Credit Union, of course. Locations here in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, and Watertown, and Essex, Vermont, South Burlington as well. You can check them out online at seacom.org and mobile on your smartphone. Also, the Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition, they develop plans and strategies that will reduce and prevent substance abuse among youth and adults in our community, and MX Fuels, 22 Center Street in Massena, providing quality fuels at service, and of course, great prices here in Northern New York. So again, a big thank you goes out to those sponsors. Great news just happened.
And the player for Ausable Valley is up on his feet.
Yep, very good. Beautiful.
And obviously a great show of sportsmanship there, everybody. Yep. You know, obviously very happy to see that.
Love to see that, Elijah. Yeah.
On the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard right now, it is Massena 8, Ausable Valley 0. And we will see here how things shake up for Massena. Again, we thought we had a reverse for a touchdown, but it will be brought back. Ball is actually going to be at the 25-yard line of Massena here. And it's 3rd down and about a country mile, so we'll see what happens here for Massena. We know they can throw the ball. Listen, we have some of the best to do it in the state.
15 yards, maybe, Elijah?
It's going to be longer than 15, my friend, I do believe. Yeah. Because we're looking here, the one marker, one marker is at the 25. Yeah. 3rd down and 24, that's what we're looking at here.
Wow.
3rd down and 24. Ball on the near hash. Eastwood is in the shotgun. He's got Carter King by his side. We're ready to play some more football. Here we go. Carter King going to drop back. The big fella's up front giving him great protection to do so. Weir has got it. He's going to get the 1st down. And there we go. 1st down, Raiders. A beautiful pass. Beautiful protection. Flag down again? Are you kidding me? I think it's going to, I've been told it's going to be roughing the passer, which is just for us.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something right now. The big fellas up front from Massena did an amazing job on that play, protecting him.
Great protection.
So great job to those big fellas up front. They should be getting a round of applause right now from this crowd because, my goodness, that was great pass protection. And Eastwood, he rewarded those big fellas. He said, big fellas, you're going to protect me. I'm going to make sure we get this play. And Garrett Weir with a heck of a catch once again. All right, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Ball's going to be at the Ausable Valley 31-yard line. 6:30 left to go after a huge completion and the penalty. So here we go. Massena, 1st and 10, Ausable Valley 31. Eastwood in the shotgun. He's going to toss it to Carter King. Carter King going to come downhill. He's going to get hit hard by number 21, Fletcher. But a good game there, though, Donnie.
Pretty good. 21.
So, 6:03 and rolling here. 2nd down and 8 is what we got for Massena.
Closer to that red zone. Here we go.
We're getting close. That's right, Don Desloff. And again, I know I said it before, but I don't say it enough. Those big fellows up front for Massena, man, that was amazing pass protection.
Yes, that was.
Amazing pass protection.
Yep.
Gage Charleston, he is going to be next to Eastwood in the shotgun. Eastwood going to put Weir in motion. He's going to toss it out to Weir, and that is a incomplete pass. It looked like it was going backwards, though, and I'm glad it rolled out of bounds for Massena. And I'm looking to see where they're going to spot this thing here, because that could be considered a fumble, because it was a backwards pass. In fact, I believe that's exactly what they're going to say. So that is a fumble that rolled out of bounds from Massena, and that is going to bring us back to the 40-yard line of Ausable Valley. Timeout, Ausable Valley. We got a moment to catch our breath, so let's do that here. 5:27. Let's go here in the second quarter of play in the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard. It is Massena 8, Ausable Valley 0. Johnny Despaw, I mean, it's been an interesting one, that's for sure, my friend.
Oh, man, yeah, very. Yeah. I mean, I'd be honest with you, I thought Massena would come out, a few touchdowns quickly. No, didn't happen. Coach Daffy said, okay, every game is. But, yeah, very competitive game. We've seen a lot of flags, but a lot of great plays and miscues, and we've seen everything in this game.
And I will say, I think that's actually necessary for this team. You know, first week of the season, they didn't necessarily have a lot of resistance against Saranac Lake. Against Potsdam, it was a scoring fest.
Yep.
So for this one, to have some of that adversity, I think that will help the kids out. And I will say, so far today, I mean, Massena, and you never want to do this, but Massena's put themselves in a lot of third and long situations, and they've been able to convert them.
Yes.
So that is a good sign, even though it's, you know, we get there by a bad way, if you get what I'm saying.
Weird. What a game so far.
Garrett Weir, that's for sure. 5:27. We got a 3rd and 19 now after they restarted the ball on the Ausable Valley 40-yard line. Eastwood going to roll out, going to throw it deep. He's got somebody back there. It's caught. Gary Weir's going to walk it in. Touchdown Raiders. Touchdown Raiders.
No flag.
That was a 40-yard touchdown pass. Wow. Let's go. 5:19 left to go here in the second quarter of play. 3rd and 19, no problem. There you go. 14-0.
I'm just looking old.
No flags on Despaw, no flags. I got to write this down here before I forget. 5:19 in this second quarter of play. Eastwood with his second touchdown pass of the game to Weir, this time catching the touchdown. And let's see what we got here for this 2-point conversion. I don't want to get lost in the sauce here. Here we go. Eastwood going to drop back. He's going to look to throw. He's got a little bit of pressure. He's still looking for somebody. He's got it once again. My goodness, it's too easy. There it is, Garrett Weir.
Point conversion. Wow.
And that is going to make it 16-0, 2 points to Weir. Wow. I tell you what, you know, and when I was at practice earlier this week getting the coaches show audio, Weir was making tons of amazing catches.
What a game, Elijah.
So now, if you're looking at it on the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard, it says 16-0. Your Red Raiders have got the lead. And again, they've been facing some adversity, maybe some self-imposed adversity, but they've been able to do something with it today. And so far, you have seen Connor Eastwood throw 2 touchdown passes, one to Murtaugh. Then he had the 2-point conversion to Weir. Then he turns around and throws a 40-yard touchdown pass to Weir, and then says, let me go right back to Weir for the 2-point conversion. And I just want to say once again, as I'm calling out these skill position players, you got to put it down for the big fellows, because without those linemen,
that's right.
Without those linemen, those plays don't happen. Especially that last 2-point conversion, Donnie. Eastwood got a little bit of pressure. He was able to roll out.
Without that, you're going to see a much different team.
Exactly. So for Massena, they got to give it up for the big fellas, that's for sure.
Wow.
Here comes the kick. It's a squibber. Ausable Valley's number 4 is going to try to pick it up. So is their deep man, and he just barely picked it up before Massena got there. Number 23, Donovan Turner, was almost the recipient of a long, inadvertent onside kick. That's what I'm going to start calling those. They're not squibs. They're inadvertent onside kicks.
I would say onside kick, but Kind of looks like an onside, but it's not.
It ends up, it inadvertently ends up being one.
Yeah.
5:15 left to go here in the second quarter of play. We're feeling a little better about ourselves right now. Squibber Mania. That's a Don Despoff special. There you go. 16-0. 16-0. That's what we got. Second quarter of play here on the Blevins 2M Motor scoreboard. Massena 16, Ausable Valley 0.
Yep.
Ausable Valley, they've been run all game long. Well, let's see what they do now, down by 16. Their quarterback going to hand it off up the middle here. A pretty decent gain from what I can tell, about 3 to 4 yards there on that run. And I'm trying to see who ran the ball for them. They got a couple of different running backs for Ausable Valley, but we also know that they can throw the ball a little bit. So we're waiting to see if that comes into play. But I think it was Hosler there on the carry for the Patriots. Ausable Valley, they've got the ball on the far hash, and they're going to throw Massena off once again.
Yes. Looks like it.
Another penalty. And there's that self-imposed adversity I was talking about earlier. So that is going to give Ausable Valley some more yards here. They're going to now have the ball in the far hash still, but they're going to have it on the Ausable Valley 37 or 36-yard line, we'll call it, just to be safe. So 36-yard line of Ausable Valley. Ball in the far hash. They're down 16-0 on the Blevins 2M Motor scoreboard. Patriots quarterback Goodman going to drop under center. He is going to hand the ball off to Hosler. Hosler is going to get a first down for the Patriots, and I'm looking to see, are there any flags? I do not see any flags on that play, so it will be a first down for the Patriots. So here we go. 1st and 10 for Ausable Valley. That's going to be from their 40-yard line. And currently Ausable Valley's in the huddle. We have seen them try to throw the ball a little bit here and there. One of those passes was complete. Another one turned into a quarterback run for your life type situation. So here we go. 1st and 10. Goodman under center. He's going to, oh my goodness, fumble on the play. Massena's got it. Massena's got it, and I believe that it's going to be Michael Martinez there with the fumble recovery. Martinez and Carter King both fought for the ball and then realized, hey, wait a minute, fellas, we're both wearing red. We're on the same team. But Michael Martinez gets the fumble recovery there, so after Ausable Valley was driving a little bit, Massena now with the ball in Ausable Valley territory. That ball is going to be at the, we'll call it 43-yard line. And it's going to be more towards the far hash than it is the near hash. Eastwood in the pistol. He's got Carter King behind him. Eastwood's going to get the ball. He's going to drop back, look to throw. He's going to throw it out to Garrett Weir, just a little too much on that one. It bounced off Garrett Weir's hands, incomplete. I think if he would have thrown it just a little bit lower, he would have had it. And that's like a rare miss there. And as I was saying preseason, Eastwood's not worried about, does my spiral look pretty? He's worried about ball placement. He wants to make sure that his receivers can not only catch it, but they can catch it, turn upfield, and get even more yards.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm sure he'll be hard on himself about, and we'll see if he can redo that last one. We'll see. But it's going to be 2nd down and 10 here for Massena. Eastwood's got Carter King next to him in the shotgun. He's going to almost throw it out to Carter King, but instead throws it out complete to Murtaugh. Murtaugh coming downhill with a head of steam, and it's going to be down to the 30-yard line. Yep. That was an interesting play, and I'll tell you why, Don Despoff. So Carter King comes running out on a route. Eastwood, I think he wanted to throw it to Carter King, but Carter King's head was not turned.
Right.
So he then looked to his second option, got it to Murtaugh. Murtaugh got it to the 29.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
That's your veteran quarterback for you. All right, 3:30 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Ball now at the 30-yard line of Ausable Valley. They're going to hand it off to Carter King. Here goes Carter King to the 10, 5, touchdown Raiders.
Wow.
What a run. And we got to give it up. We got to give it up for the big fellas up front. They just completely dominated that defensive line for Ausable Valley. There was nobody in front of Carter King.
No.
And there we go. Touchdown, Carter
Move
King.
them out of the way, Elijah.
Now this is what we thought we might see, as the Raiders are, again, overcoming some, self-imposed adversity today to do some big things. So here we go. 2-point conversion time once again for Massena. Eastwood going to look to throw. He is going to be able to get away from a defender, and that's going to be incomplete, but there is a flag, so hold everything. And let's see what happens here. Donnie, I appreciate you holding my papers here, my friend. I write slow. 22-0, that's where we are right now. I don't know if we're going to retry this 2-point or if we're just going to call it a day. So the 2-point is no good. 22-0, that is where we are right now on the London Seaway Motor scoreboard. That would be Massena with the 22. Ausable Valley with the goose egg.
Looking good, man. Wow. So many aspects of the game, Massena looks really good.
And again, my
they
friend,
came prepared. Yep.
It looked ugly at first. And listen, there's a lot of game left to go. I don't want to talk like this thing is over.
Right.
By no means. But 3:18 here in the second quarter of play. You got a 22-point lead on your opponent. And, oh, by the way, because of how things shook up in the first half, you're going to get the ball to start the second half. Because remember, Massena kicked off to Ausable Valley. Ausable Valley was not able to get hands on the ball, and Massena was able to steal a possession right there. So now, if they can hold Ausable Valley here, then they can drive it down the field, get another touchdown, and get the ball back to start the second half. Well, let's see what happens.
I like the way Massena comes back from adversity. And just every little adversity, on the field stuff, they seem to bounce back, and they just, I love that.
Murtaugh with the kick. It's a shorter kick. Going to bounce at the 40, and Ausable Valley is going to get their guy on top of it, and that is number 34 for Ausable Valley. That would be Dylan Bombard. That's the first time I've called Bombard's name today. Bombard is one of their middle linebackers, and so we're looking to see what he does, obviously, next time Ausable Valley is out on defense. But right now, they're on offense. They're down 22-0 right now. I wonder if we might see them start to try to throw their way back into this thing. And I wouldn't normally mention that, but we were told by our own coach, Coach Zappia, that Ausable Valley can spread it out. They can throw the ball. So will they try to do that here with 3 minutes and 18 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, or will they line it up again and keep running the ball? It looks like they're going to line it up and keep running the ball. So let's see here. Goodman's under center. He's going to check with the referee, make sure he's good. He's going to take the snap. He's going to toss it out to Fletcher. Fletcher coming to the far side of the field. Down to the 45, going to get escorted out of bounds at the 50, and that is Murtaugh with the tackle on that play of Fletcher. And if Murtaugh doesn't get him, that's possibly a touchdown for Ausable Valley. They got some speed over there at Ausable Valley. They just haven't had a lot of things go their way today, that's for sure. 3:11, that's going to be a second down and 1 now after a 9-yard gain on that running play. So ball's going to be on the far hash because of that last play, and it's going to be at the Massena 49-yard line. The Ausable Valley 49-yard line. Goodman's under center for Ausable Valley. He's going to take the snap. He's going to toss it out to the far side of the field. Not a whole lot of running room over there, but they're going to try to make some. Fletcher coming downhill, first down on Ausable Valley. And that's a 6-yard gain there. And it gets compact over there, if you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
Especially when you get the ball on the far side and you're going to say, we're going to go ahead and run it to the far side. Not a whole lot of running room over there, but Fletcher was able to find 6 yards, so there you go. First down. Now the ball is going to be on the Massena side of the field. Ausable Valley at the 44-yard line of Massena, ball in the far hash. And we've got 2:28 and counting left to go here in the second quarter of play. Goodman going to drop under center. He's going to draw Massena off once again.
Ow. How many? Is that 4 times?
That is way too many times. I will say that for sure. And I know coaches would agree with me. So that's a 5-yard penalty against Massena. And I'm looking down there at the sideline, and Coach Zappia, he's got his arms crossed. He's not happy about that one, I'm sure. 2:20. It's going to be a 1st and 5 now for Ausable Valley from the Massena 40. They're going to toss it out to the near side of the field. Fletcher coming this way. Ooh, he got hit hard by Tepani LeBrake.
Yeah, flag.
And there's a flag on the play, but this one's going to go against Ausable Valley, so that's going to back them up a little bit. And it's a holding penalty. So, again, when it comes to penalties, it's like the hokey pokey. Go a little bit forward, go a little bit back, and that's what we've been doing here in this first half of play. Lots of penalties in this one. 2:07 left to go here in the second quarter as the Patriots back themselves up a little bit. 2:07 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Blevins Seaway Motors scoreboard right now, Massena with a 22-0 lead over the Ausable Valley Patriots. And halftime is staring us in the face. We are almost there, but it's going to be extended a little bit if we keep getting penalties. So we'll see. 1:54 left to go here in this second quarter of play. 1st and 15 now. They're going to toss it to number 2, and it is going to be a destination nowhere type situation, courtesy of number 54 for Massena. That would be Darian Coates on that play. Those big fellows up front for Massena, they play offensive line, they play defensive line, and on that one they were on time, that's for sure, giving that running back a first-class ticket to destination nowhere. We're wondering what that means. That means we stop them in the backfield. 1:20 left to go here in this second quarter of play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Patriots. Ball is on the M in Massena in the middle of the field. Goodman is going to fake the handoff and look to throw. He's going to throw it out wide to number 34, but number 34 was not able to catch it there. That's going to be 3rd down and 15 now with 1:03 left to go here in this second quarter of play. And if you're Ausable Valley, you got to be thinking here, listen, we don't want to give them the ball back this close to our end zone.
Right. They can't play conservative at this point.
But if they're too aggressive and they don't get it,
yeah.
Now you put a red-hot Massena offense back out, so it's certainly a game of chess out there, but I get what Donnie's saying. 1:03 left to go here in the second quarter of play, 3rd and 15. And Goodman looks confused. And there's going to be a flag.
What?
Delay a game against Ausable Valley.
Yeah.
So, what was already a very daunting task, let's make it a little bit more daunting, as now it's going to be 3rd down and 20, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. And there's not many plays in your playbook for 3rd down and 20. So we'll see what Ausable Valley chooses to do here. We have not seen them really try to throw it deep other than one play, and Dominic Murtaugh was there for us to knock it out of the way. But their quarterback has a decent arm. So we'll see what they do here. 3rd down and 20. Goodman under center. He's going to drop back to throw the ball. He's going to chuck one up deep. And it is, knocked away by Connor Eastwood. Connor Eastwood, the quarterback, turned safety. He was back there to knock that down. Again, we got quarterback on quarterback violence. That's what I'm calling that. 58 seconds left to go here in this second quarter of play. Hey, our radio station's located at 420, and it's 420 up there on the scoreboard. There you go. 4th down and 20. Let's see. What plays do they have for 4th down and 20?
58 seconds left.
58 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play.
Quick first half.
And it looks like Massena is going to call a timeout. So while we have a second, again, 58 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play. On the Blevins Seaway Motors scoreboard, it is your Massena Red Raiders 22 and Ausable Valley 0. And we are looking here towards halftime. Obviously, we'll get you caught up with how we got to 22-0. But I also want to throw it out there again. Massena has not started 3-0 in football since 2016. It's been a while. And that season, they actually started out 5-0. But that season, they actually started out with 5 wins in a row. Wow. Before they lost a game. So we'll see what this team can do. Obviously, they want to get to 3-0, and they're doing their part to do so, up 22-0. But to me, the biggest compliment that I can give Massena is the fact that even though they have been kind of self-imposing, issues on them, right, they've been able to overcome it. So that's been good to see. But here we go. 57 seconds and counting, and it looks like Ausable Valley was going to try to punt, but the punt was muffed there, if you will. And now Massena has got the ball in Ausable Valley territory. And that is what you call disaster.
Time, Elijah, for Massena.
So, 54 seconds left.
Yep.
First down and 10. Ball's going to be at the Ausable Valley 38-yard line, and Massena, they can run their entire offense right now if they want to.
Yeah.
I believe they got one timeout left, if I'm not mistaken.
One, I believe so.
So, for Massena, here we go. And it's going to be a timeout for Ausable Valley. They want to talk to their guys about what just happened there, but so that I can accurately describe what just happened for you at home, basically the punter dropped the punt. And was trying to pick it up, and then Massena was able to get on top of it. So that's what happened there. It was a little hard for my brain to comprehend as it was going on, but there you go. 54 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play. Again, on the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard, Massena up big right now, 22-0 over the Ausable Valley Patriots. And I do want to let you know that ball is going to be towards the far hash of the field, and it's going to be at the Ausable Valley, we'll call it 36-yard line.
A lot with Ausable Valley, why Massena's winning too, is the simple things and the fundamentals of football. A lot of them have they just out of sync, I like it. Yeah.
I would certainly agree with that, my friend.
Yeah, Massena I like the way they're...
Massena's look good. Again, and I say that, but I also have to be honest about it. We've looked good, even though we put ourselves in bad situations.
Many times during this game.
So here we go, 1st and 10, and we've got Charleston next to Eastwood. Eastwood going to drop back to throw. He's going to throw it deep. He's got somebody down there. He's got it. First down, touchdown. Raiders. Let's go.
My goodness.
You know, when you're hot, you're hot. Jerry Reed used to say that. Whoa.
Yeah.
38-yard touchdown throw. Connor Eastwood to Murtaugh.
Yeah, nice.
I got a feeling after this game, our fellows are going to be ranked a little bit higher when it comes to Division B. Let me get to my correct page here. Here we go. That is 46 seconds left to go here in this second quarter of play. And, again, this offensive line, man, they have given that protection that Eastwood has needed, and Eastwood has rewarded their hard work with some amazing throws. So here we go. Eastwood to Murtaugh there with the touchdown. We've got a 2-point conversion here. Eastwood going to toss it up to Charleston. Charleston going to try to get up inside there. Does he get it? Yes, he does. There we go. That's 2 points there for the Raiders.
I'm going to get greedy.
Wow.
With touchdown before the half.
You know, I told you pregame, I said I would love to see Massena put a 50-piece up, and right now we are 20 points away.
Close.
I just want to point that out to folks at home. All right, 28-0, and then, of course, you got Charleston there with the 2-point, and that is going to make it on the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard. Massena 30, Ausable Valley 0. That is where we are after 3 touchdown passes. 3 touchdown passes by Connor Eastwood. And I want to remind folks once again, Division B for New York State, that's over 100 schools that play in Division B. Eastwood's ranked 7th. Carter King's ranked 6th as a running back. Murtaugh's ranked 18th. Garrett Weir's ranked 20th. Topani LeBrake is ranked 29th. So almost all of our offensive firepower is ranked in the top 30 out of these over 100 schools. And you're seeing that on display today. And if they had offensive lineman rankings, I tell you what, we would probably have top 30 in offensive line as well.
Absolutely.
So, again, got to give it up for those big fellas up front.
Eastwood, too.
He looked good. He looked good. So here we go. Murtaugh is going to kick it off here. Here comes the kick. It's a squibber once again. Nobody wants to touch it, apparently. Here we go. Ausable Valley's picked it up, and they're going to try to do something with it as their guy gets tackled at the Ausable Valley 36-yard line, we'll call it. 39 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play on the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard. It's all smiles here in Massena. Massena Raiders up 30-0 over the Ausable Valley Patriots. And again, this game has been different. You know, this game has been different than the other two. You know, obviously with Saranac, you know, you had 24-14. Last week you had a little bit, you know, kind of a threat from Potsdam because every time we scored, they scored. And in this one, Massena's up 30-0, but they've imposed a lot of their own self-penalties, if you will, false starting and different things like that. So,
had it been for that, it could be the score.
It could be a lot more points right now. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ausable Valley is going to hand the ball off here to number 2, and number 2 is going to get almost a first down. And that is Hosler once again for the Ausable Valley Patriots with that carry. 25 seconds and rolling. I don't know if Ausable Valley runs another play here or if they just want to get to halftime. But they are going to line up, though, so we'll see what they do. Goodman is under center for Ausable Valley. He is going to hand the ball off to Hosler once again. Hosler going to get taken down hard on that play, and that is number 71, Jake Lindstad, in on that tackle for Massena. And that is going to do it for this first half of play. Your Massena Raiders up 30 on Ausable Valley. It is 30-0 here at Mike Nicholas Field with a beautiful, beautiful weather, I will say.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there's clouds in the sky, but it looks picturesque here in Massena. It is a little hot, though, and it's almost as hot as this Massena Raiders offense. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit.
It's halftime for Massena football. To get you up to date on everything that's happened so far, here's Elijah Winfrey and Don Despon on 92.9 WMSA.
That's right. Yeah, we're back here at Mike Nicholas Field. It is the home of a lot of celebration right now as Massena has got a 30-point lead over the Ausable Valley Patriots. 30-0. 30-0 is the score right now. And I do want to give a shout-out to my family who's listening down in Atlanta. Of course, we got my stepmama, my mama. Michael is listening. We also have got my dad, Earl Winfrey. I'm sure my little brother, Will, and my little sister, Michaela, are also listening, maybe half listening because, you know, they're teenagers. But anyway, I want to give them a shout-out today and wish them safe travels as well. They're down in Atlanta, I believe, tuning into today's game. So with that, let's get to some sponsors. Donnie Daspa, who you got?
Yeah. All right. Seacom Federal Credit Union with locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, Watertown, South Burlington, Essex, Vermont. Check them out online at seacom.org and mobile on your smartphone. Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition, developing plans, strategies going to help reduce and prevent substance misuse among youth and adults in our community. MX Fuels, 22 Center Street in Massena, providing quality fuels at service and great service, great prices here in northern New York. And we thank all those great sponsors making this broadcast possible.
7:23 left to go here in this halftime, and I do just want to also throw out an additional shout-out to my mama, my stepmama, Michael. It is her birthday today.
Oh, wow.
So for her birthday present, she, I guess, was listening to me. I don't know about that one, but but she is listening, so I want to wish her a very happy birthday. I hope she has a great day. It's also Big Perry's birthday today, too. So lots of birthdays being celebrated today. Let's talk about how we got the 30-0, though, because I know that's why you tuned in. Yep. So here is how we got there. In the first quarter of play, Connor Eastwood got the scoring started with a touchdown pass to Dominic Murtaugh. It was 3:21 left to go in that first quarter, by the way, when that touchdown pass was thrown to Murtaugh. Then he turns around and throws a 2-point conversion to Garrett Weir. Again, we're going to say it a lot, but we're saying it because they deserve it. That offensive line, my goodness, they deserve a steak dinner because of the way that they are, doing pass protection today and giving Eastwood time to find these wide receivers. And then in the second quarter, Eastwood threw another touchdown, his second of the day, to Garrett Weir, then threw the 2-point conversion to Garrett Weir. That gets us to 18-0. And then we ended up having another touchdown, this time by Carter King, a rushing touchdown. We got to 22-0. And then to close out the second quarter, the scoring continued. Eastwood to Murtaugh for the second time today. That made it 28-0, and then Gabe Charleston ran a 2-point conversion. That made it 30-0. that is how we got here. Again, this offense has been on fire. Now, I do want to point out, not to be the person who rains on the parade, but Massena has had way too many penalties today.
Right.
And even though they put themselves in bad situations, they've been able to handle that adversity. 3rd and long, no problem. And again, that is because of this offensive line and the experience at quarterback and obviously those great wide receivers, a complete team effort.
Yeah.
But when we opened up the broadcast, we tried to tell you, okay, you have got 3 wide receivers, a running back and a quarterback, ranked in the top 30 of their entire division of over 100 schools.
Yeah.
And when you have that type of offensive firepower, good things are going to happen as long as everybody lives up to their ranking, and that's what's happened today. In fact, I don't want to jinx them, so I'm going to knock on wood as I say this, but Connor Eastwood, if you're looking for live stats, here's a big one. Against Saranac Lake, he had 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Against Potsdam, he had 2 touchdowns through the air. Today, he's had 3 touchdowns through the air. Most importantly, if you notice, I didn't say anything about interceptions. That's 7 touchdowns and no interceptions for your starting quarterback.
So far.
He is having an amazing game. But you brought up a good point off the air, so go ahead, Don Despaw.
Well, yeah. Elijah has got a better memory than I do. What was I talking about? What was it?
Well, you were talking about the fact that because we're up 30-0 over Ausable Valley.
Step on the gas, bring in maybe kids that haven't played enough. How do you go about that? You don't want to get too laid back where you
let them back in the game.
Yeah, they're 30-0, okay, but you play conservative, more running, obviously, maybe in that 3rd, 4th quarter. I don't know.
It's interesting because, and Donnie brings up a great point. There are some high school teams out there who say this is our moment to get a bunch of stats. So we're just going to keep pounding them as if the points matter at the end of the year, even though they really don't. Kind of like the old, BCS system in college football back in the day.
Yes.
So they're saying, hey, let's just keep piling it on. Our kids are going to have amazing stats at the end of the season, and the reason why is because they played a opponent that, was down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You also have coaches out there who say, listen, we know what we have in our starters. We need to find out what else we have because in the playoffs, some of our big players might get, neutralized during the game, and we need to be able to do other things. So it's a very interesting point that Don Despaw brings up, and we would not be talking about that if it wasn't for the fact that Massena is up 30-0 right now. So can they afford to put in some of those kids? Yeah, sure. They definitely can. Will we see them run the ball here? I think so.
Maybe just a couple plays. It doesn't have to be, but
I think you'll probably see Gates Charleston play a little bit more because he has not played a whole lot this season. And he's not traditionally a backup running back. I mean, last season he was a big player for us.
Yep.
He just hasn't been out there for the first couple weeks. So I think they might play him a little bit more. I don't know who the backup quarterback is for Massena. I heard through the grapevine that the backup quarterback from Massena is Tepani LeBrake.
Oh, okay.
Well, Tepani LeBrake is one of the best wide receivers we have. So you know what I mean? It's one of those situations where at some positions you have a guy to go to. At other positions, you don't really have true backups because of the numbers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it just depends on what they decide to do. But I will be very interested to see here because you are up 30-0, and obviously you want to make sure that you're ready for the rest of the season too. So we'll see. They got about 1:40 here before they figure that out. Massena has not come back out yet. I believe they are going to be on their way down. In fact, I see the red helmets coming out of the gym. So they are going to make their way down here and probably start stretching here
You
very
have
soon.
something written down here, Elijah. Now, tell me, wait a minute. Am I seeing? Wait, no.
So we got a out of town score for you, and here is the situation. I've been very high on Malone this year, but I feel like I may have cursed them because when they came out to enter the season, they went up against Peru and they got beat 49-8. Then they turned around. They look like they're turning around their season because they beat Canton by a lot. And then right now, as of the last score update I have, Governor, they traveled to Governor to play them. Governor has put up 48 points on Malone. Malone has scored nothing.
First half, 48 points.
First half, 48-0. Governor over Malone. So I may have gotten that one wrong as far as predicting is concerned.
Wait a minute.
Donnie's got to take a minute on that one.
Like,
it's interesting, too, because Malone is one of those teams that you look at and you go, they've got the pieces. So it's a little bit shocking that it's happened to them. But remember, something similar happened to us last season. We came out, we had a close game against Ogdensburg.
Yep.
Then we had a couple of games where we lost, one of them being a pretty bad beating against Adirondack,
right?
If you remember that one.
Yep.
So maybe that's what's happening to Malone. But Massena plays Malone next week, so we'll find out here at Mike Nicholas Field next week what happens with that one. But I am surprised at how Malone has not scored a ton this season after I thought they would be one of the hottest offenses in Section 10. But I am pleasantly surprised that Massena has lived up to the hype. Again, 30-0, that is the score of this game against Ausable Valley. And for Ausable Valley, I said it to you last week, actually, Donnie, at the Potsdam game. I said, I want to see a game where the opponent is in it to the end, and even if they're not in it to the end, they're playing like they're in it to the end.
Exactly.
I don't want to see Ausable Valley come out here and just run the ball and try to get out of here.
Right.
I want to see them put up a fight.
Yep.
Like, let's go. Let's see what the Raiders do when they're up against somebody who plays 4 quarters of football.
Right. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, on the Raiders side of things, as you were talking about earlier, you might see them rotate in some of that second string at certain positions. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I hesitate to give you a prediction only because I've seen stranger things happen. I mean, remember the Bills, that dramatic comeback they had all those years ago, and then look at the Vikings against the Colts last year where the Vikings came back. I think it was like 40 points they were down, and the Vikings came back and won it. So, again,
that one,
I hesitate to say anything crazy like that. But for Massena, they are done stretching. They're running back over here to the sideline. And, again, we are looking at the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard to enter this third quarter of play.
Congratulations, St. Lawrence Central.
Yes.
On a close game. I mean, 22-18, Elijah?
24-18, yeah. St. Lawrence Central went down to Ogdensburg. They went down to Ogdensburg. They almost beat the Ogdensburg Blue Devils. Again, they lost 24-18 was the final score in that one. 30 seconds left to go. Gavin Regan is behind us. Gavin, are you good?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks for coming, guys, as usual, and what a beautiful day.
All right. Hey, I always see Gavin down on the cart. He's got the best way to get around the field.
Yes.
I will tell you, I was here a few years ago, Donnie, and I know Gavin will remember this, but I was here a few years ago, and me and Gavin were talking on the radio. Gavin took a step off the cart. We went away from the cart. We were talking on the radio. And a little kid hopped on the cart and almost ran over me and Gavin with the cart because he tried to drive it. It was craziness. So Gavin's got security. He's got security watching that cart, I'm sure. All right, Ausable Valley is going to kick it off to Massena. Ausable Valley is down 30-0, as we discussed before. I promise I'm not trying to be obnoxious with that. Just telling you the score. But I think Ausable Valley might try an onside kick here, so let's see. Let's see what they decide to do here as they kick this thing off. Will it be an intentional onside kick, or are they just going to kick it deep? Let's see. Ausable Valley is making sure that everybody knows what they're doing. And here we go. Here comes the kick. It is a shorter kick, not really an onside kick. Our guy picks it up. That is Garrett Weir picking it up. And here we go. We're running to the 40, down to the 30, down to the 20. Getting dragged down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, I thought he was.
By the back of his jersey, I thought for sure Garrett Weir was gone.
Great run.
60-something yard return there. And for Ausable Valley, they're looking at it going, man, that's not how we wanted to start that, right? 11:49 left to go here in this third quarter of play. I think that might answer your question, Donnie Despot. I think that might answer your question about are we going to keep the foot on the gas there. Eastwood going to trot out there to his teammates who are in the huddle. It's going to be a 1st and 10 on the far hash at the 15-yard line. Let's see what they do here, fellas. Carter King is beside Eastwood in the shotgun. Eastwood going to get the snap. He's going to hand it off to Carter King. Carter King coming downhill with a full head of steam. He is trying to get closer to that end zone. He did get some yardage there. And I'm waiting to see how many yards here from Tom Miller.
Gain of about 5 yards.
Thank you, Tom. That's a gain of about 5 yards in case you can't hear Tom.
Second down.
Second down. I could literally just hand the phone to Tom Miller. He could do this. 11:22 left to go here in this third quarter of play. It is a 2nd and 5, though. There we go. Ball's in the middle of the field here, and Eastwood's going to toss it out to Weir. Weir is going to run it up inside and drag a couple of Ausable Valley Patriots with him. Garrett Weir having himself a dandy of a game today, and so is Murtaugh. The one person that we have not seen, though, get involved, and I think he might become involved here in this next play, is Topani LeBrake. I just got a feeling about it. That Topani LeBrake might get himself a touchdown here. Let's see. 11 minutes, now down to 10:57 left to go here in the third quarter of play on the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard. It is Massena 30-0. Eastwood's got a 1st and goal here for the Raiders. He's going to hand it off. No, he's not. He's going to fake the handoff, and he's going to run it himself. And he got very, very close. Very close. He faked the handoff. We don't usually see Eastwood do that, so that was a little bit interesting there. So, 1 yard line. Ausable Valley's 1 yard line, and Don Desma, I think Carter King might end up getting his second one here. We'll see. Carter King is next to Eastwood in the shotgun. Eastwood going to hand it off to King. King going to bang it up inside. Does he get there? I don't know. He's getting pushed by some of his teammates. And no, he is not going to get there. So that is going to bring up a 3rd down from the 1 yard line of Massena. Ausable Valley Patriots defense saying, come on, fellas, we can hold them back.
Defense really keen on
Carter King. That's for sure, my friend.
Yeah.
3rd down here from the 2 yard line, we'll call it. Eastwood going to come back out. I would like to think it's going to be another run, but hey, the ball is going to be towards the near hash, so maybe if it is a pass, it might be to the far side of the field. We'll see. Murtaugh is out there, though. He's the only wide receiver out there to the far side of the field, so we'll see if that comes into play. Eastwood's got King beside him. He's going to hand the ball off again. Carter King, touchdown Raiders!
Carter King, he does it.
That is touchdown number 2 for Carter King today. With 9:28 left to go here in this third quarter of play, Carter King gets himself touchdown number 2, running the ball right up the middle there. That offensive line obviously getting enough push to make that happen. Massena now up 36-0, and we are going to see an extra point attempt from Dominic Murtaugh. So let's see how this goes. Murtaugh is looking on here. I hope he gets this one. This would be cool. Eastwood, Eastwood's got to pick it up. He's got to run with it. Eastwood is going to look to throw, I think. He's going to throw it back. Did we get it? No, we didn't, but that was a heck of an effort. Eastwood was the holder on that play, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get the hold. He picked it up, ran, and tried to find somebody open. And, hey, you know what? No harm done. No harm done. But it is 36-0 right here for your Massena Raiders over the Ausable Valley Patriots. Carter King with the touchdown run there with 9:38 left to go. Now we're looking at 9:28 here in the third quarter of play. And third quarter is brought to you by North Country Savings Bank. Remember, 22 Phillips Street in Massena, North Country Savings Bank. You make it North Country. We make it a bank. And I say we like we're on the team over there at North Country Savings Bank. But it's not me and Donnie. It's North Country Savings Bank doing it.
Oh, close enough.
You don't want me running your finances. It's not pretty. 9:28.
Me either, sir. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of Detroit Lions merchandise getting ordered if you let me run your finances. I'm just saying. 9:28 left to go here in this third quarter of play. Our out-of-town scoreboard, again, Governor right now, when they went to halftime, they were up over Malone 48-0. So that was the score over there. Obviously, last night, St. Lawrence Central gave Ogdensburg a scare. Ogdensburg got the win, but not by much. 24-18. Coach Bruce Truax and company up there in Brazier Falls, trying to make some things happen up there. Here comes the kick for Massena. It's going to bounce at the 30. And number 1 for Ausable Valley's got it. He's going to get dragged down by our number 5. That is Nathan Gould in there with the tackle. And Ausable Valley is going to come out here at their own 30-yard line. Now, they are now in a deep, deep hole. Okay, deep, deep hole, 36-0 right now. Let's see. Personally, I want to see them try to get back into this game. I think that would be good for Massena to go up against somebody like that. But we'll see. Obviously, they're not going to come out and just kneel the ball or punt it to us. Right. That would be completely giving up. They're not going to do that. But let's see what they do offensively, being down where they are. Looks like they're going to go back to that formation where they have a fullback down and 2 tailbacks behind that fullback, quarterback under center. He's going to hand the ball off up the middle here to number 34, and that would be Dylan Bombard there with the run. Gain of about 6 yards on that play. And that's going to be a 2nd and 4 after they get the marker over there. By the way, I want to give a shout-out to the Massena Volunteer Fire Department. If you know anything about me, I'm very passionate about our local fire department and all of our emergency services. They do amazing things. And, that's when they're just doing the emergency side of things. But today, Massena Volunteer Firefighters are actually out there running the chains. They're helping us out in the press box, doing a whole bunch of great things. And, by the way, we got another flag. So if you were wondering where the flags were.
They're making a comeback.
There you go. They're making a comeback. And I got to give it up for these referees. They have been practicing in the off-season, the arc on their flags. It's amazing, actually. They're throwing that thing about 20 yards into the field. So that's refreshing to see. So they've been doing them arm curls in the off-season to make sure their flags are getting further out there. So here we go. 1st and 10, and oh my goodness, we got another flag. Back-to-back flags. Now, unfortunately, that's against Massena, so not many people are happy about that.
Next time I watch a game at your house, I'm bringing my own flag.
I think we should. I think we should institute penalties at the radio station. If you say throw a flag. Dead air, throw a flag. I would have flags all day throughout my show that way, so let's not do that. 8:21 left to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. We actually get the playoff this time. Fletcher for Ausable Valley coming around the outside, going to be escorted out of bounds by Tiffany LeBrake. So there you go. That's going to be a gain of about 3. There we go. Thank you, Tom. And that's going to be 2nd down and 7 now. Here in this 3rd quarter of play, 7:54 left to go here in this 3rd quarter of play. North Country Savings Bank scoreboard reads Massena 36, Ausable Valley 0. 2nd down and 5 here. Ball's on the far hash. They're going to hand it off to Bombard. Bombard going to try to get downhill here. He's going to get shot down by Garrett Weir, but not before getting a 1st down for Ausable Valley. And now Ausable Valley has entered the Massena side of the field.
I think they're happy just to run the ball. Yeah.
I mean, if that's what they're most confident in.
I think so. I think they are. Yeah.
48-yard line. That is where we are right now. Massena's 48-yard line, I should say. Ball's on the M in Massena. Goodman, the quarterback for Ausable Valley's under center. He's going to hand it off to Fletcher. Fletcher going to come downhill, and he's going to be tackled there by a bunch of Raiders. The first one in on the play, though, was Gates Charleston. And I also saw number 81 for Massena. 81 is going to be, as I'm looking here on my chart, Dominic Austin in there on that tackle with Gage Charleston. And we'll see here. I will say that Ausable Valley, it seems like it's built into their cadence to try to hard count every play. So that's been kind of interesting to see, and that's been giving Massena difficulty today.
They're going to keep doing it.
Goodman is under center. He's going to hard count again, but now he's going to hand it off to Bombard. Bombard coming downhill, and he is going to get taken down by a sea of Red Raiders there. Dominic Murtaugh was the first one into that tackle, but I'm also seeing Michael Martinez in there. I'm also seeing Tiffany LeBrake. I'm seeing number 74 for Massena, which would be Lennox Pierce in there on that tackle as well. Basically, everybody that had eligibility, got it on that tackle just now. Michael.
They all contribute.
6:15 left to go here in this third quarter of play. Massena up 36-0 over the Ausable Valley Patriots. If you're a Bills fan, you love hearing 36-0 over the Patriots, but it's not those Patriots, just saying. 6:0 left to go, and here comes another flag.
Yeah.
We should have ran some type of lottery today. How many flags do you think we're going to get in the game? Again, it's a hard count, though. They just keep doing that. Quarterback goes under center, hard count, and there's the penalty. I'll be honest with you. I thought Massena would be the one hard counting and getting Ausable Valley offside, but it's been the opposite today. Shows you what I know. 5:45 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Again, on the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard, it is Massena up 36-0. It is 1st and 5 now for Ausable Valley. They're going to hand it off to Fletcher. Fletcher is going to break a tackle there, and he is going to get taken down. We are well within. There's another flag. Are you kidding me? Somebody, listen, I know that we have, ice baths for the players. You might want to get an ice bath for the referee's arms after this one. Oh, my goodness. 5:27 left to go here in this third quarter of play. We got yet another flag. I promise you, and I'm pretty confident in saying this. I promise you, all of the penalties are going to be put on its own highlight reel, and it's going to be shown to the players next week. I guarantee, and I say that, and some people might laugh, but Coach Zappia is somebody that wants to get it fixed, and I'm sure that's going to be something he does.
Definitely, yes.
He's going to put them all on a highlight reel and say, fellas, these are the lowlights. Not the highlights, the lowlights. We got to get it fixed. 5:19 and rolling, third quarter of play. Could be 1st down and 10, by the way, for Ausable Valley. And they have got the ball here at the Massena 15 on the far hash, and again, from penalty yardage. Here we go. They're in the Maryland I. I haven't seen this one since I was coaching. Here comes Bombard to the outside of the field. It's going to be a touchdown for the Patriots. Bombard there with a touchdown from the Maryland I. I know that formation very well. I'll tell you how I know that here in a second. 4:58 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Ausable Valley gets on the board with Bombard's run there again from that Maryland I formation. And I know that because when I was coaching, that was the formation I used, was the Maryland I on offense. That was one of the formations we used. Not as effective as the way they just did it, but we tried. 4:58 left to go here. Bombard with a rushing touchdown. It is now 36-6. And do they have a kicker? I think they got a kicker. Oh, my goodness. Let's see how this goes. For the PAT, their quarterback, Goodman, is going to get the hold here. He's going to put it down. Kick is up. It is good. Oh, my goodness. 36-7. All right, so they got a little bit more work to do, but that's a step closer. 36-7 there, and hey, to their credit, all they did was run the ball in that drive and get penalties.
Pretty much like it, yeah.
So maybe that's their way of getting their way back in this game.
No shutout from Massena.
No shutout from Massena. But we are up 36-7. 4:58 left to go here in this third quarter of play. And what I will say, to Ausable Valley's credit, and I do mean this, they're not giving up.
No. Nope.
So
it's going to be interesting how Massena plays now.
You know what?
No.
I think you're going to see the starters back out there because I think Coach Zappia is saying, okay, well, if they're going to try, we're going to try. There's other things we can do with our starters out there to get solidified for later on in the season. So I think you'll still see the starting offense out there, but I could be wrong. 4:58 left to go here in the third quarter play. Massena is going to put Murtaugh and LeBrake back deep to get this kickoff. It has not gotten that far back to them yet, but we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Could it be an onside kick? Number 11 is going to kick it, by the way, for Ausable Valley. Bacto is going to be kicking off for the Patriots here. And let's see what they choose to do. Here comes the kick. It is a squiver. It's going to bounce, and Garrett Weir has picked it up once again, and he's going to be taken down at the 31-yard line. And, hey, good sportsmanship there by Ausable Valley helping our player up after he got tackled. So that's good to see. For Massena, what do we got on offense? I'm curious now. And Eastwood is going back out there, so it is the starting unit back out there on offense. 4:54 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Massena up 36-7 over the Ausable Valley Patriots in the third quarter. That scoreboard is brought to you by North Country Savings Bank. We got whistles, and somebody's getting a phone call. It's not me, though. 4:54 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Eastwood's going to put LeBrake in motion. Oh, he tried to toss it to LeBrake, and LeBrake almost dropped it. And he gets, I want to say, about 2 yards there. Not like Tepany there to drop that. So he was able to get it, though. It looked like he might drop it. He kind of hot potatoed, but he was able to get it, and he got around the outside for, I want to say, about 2 to 3 yards. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 here. Ball's going to be on the near hash at the Massena 34-yard line. Eastwood is in the pistol now. He's got Carter King behind him. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look to throw. He's going to throw it out to Garrett Weir. Garrett Weir trying to break free. Garrett Weir is going to get a few more yards because he was able to bring somebody with him. That's right. First down, Raiders. You heard it from Tom Miller. You'll hear it from me, too. 4 minutes left to go here in this third quarter of play. Massena with another first down. That ball is going to be spotted on the near hash on the Massena 45-yard line. All right, here we go. The fellows are coming up here to the line of scrimmage. It looks like we're going to be in the pistol once again. Gage Charleston is going to be behind Eastwood. Eastwood going to get the snap, going to toss it out to Gage. Here we go, Gage. Gage is going to engage, and he is going to get close to the line of scrimmage on that, and everybody's throwing a flag. In fact, I throw a flag too. There you go. There goes my paper. Anyway, that is another flag once again. I don't know what it's for. Vic Perry, what's that flag for, my friend? Looks like holding from Vic Perry. That's what he said. Well, Vic, to be clear, Vic said, potentially blocking the back or holding. We'll see what the actual signal is here. And I believe that's John Simons out there, if I'm not mistaken. Blocking the back, and that is a 10-yard penalty there against the Raiders. I do feel bad for one particular player on the Raiders, and I will mention this here. I feel bad for Gage Charleston, because every time that kid has gotten the ball today, it's been a penalty. Yeah. And he's been getting good yards, so I'm sure that's frustrating for him. He's like, I just want to get back out on the field with my guys, and he also has been playing pretty good football on the defensive side, too. Do want to give him a shout-out for that. Good point. And I believe Mira Gamble is tuning in, if I'm not mistaken, so shout-out to Mira. Mira was saying that Gage has been out the first 2 weeks with a hamstring injury, so that's why he's back in there now. And Gage is coming off the field, and here comes Carter King once again. So Carter King is going to line up here in the pistol behind Eastwood. It's 1st and 20. Eastwood going to toss it out to Carter King. Carter King going to try to get some yards here. And everybody from Ausable Valley with eligibility is in on that tackle. Gain of a yard there. 2nd and long. Eastwood coming back out. Carter King's going to come over to the sideline. And Gage Charleston is back in there for the running back spot. 2nd down and 20. Ball at the Massena Raider 36-yard line. Ball's towards the near hash. Eastwood going to drop back. He's going to look to throw. He's going to throw it out wide to Donovan Turner, but that one was a little too far for Donovan Turner to catch. And I will say, if Donovan Turner catches that ball, he has an opportunity to make a lot of yardage back. But that was one of the rare misses there from Connor Eastwood. 2:22 left to go here in the third quarter of play in the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard. It is Massena with a 36-7 lead over Ausable Valley. Don Despal, Elijah Winfrey on the call for you here on WMSA Radio. And this next play is going to come from Massena's 36-yard line. It is 3rd and 20. Let's see. Eastwood's in the shotgun. He's got Carter King by his side. He's going to drop back, look to throw. He's going to throw it out to Carter King. Carter King is going to come near side, and he is still running, and he is going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but not enough for a first down. So, it's going to be 4th down after a gain of about 11. 4th down and 9 for the Raiders. 1:57 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Now, will this be an offensive play, or will Eastwood punt it from the shot or from the pistol? Let's see. I think it's going to be a regular play.
I think so.
4th and 9 here. Ball on the 45, and we draw off Ausable Valley.
There.
There we go.
Outside. 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty for Ausable Valley. That's going to help us out. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
4th down and 5 now. Ball's at midfield. You know, so many times in this game, they have drawn us offsides.
Yep.
It makes me feel good to see that they get drawn offsides too. I'm just saying. 1:30 left to go here in the third quarter of play. 4th and 5 from midfield. Eastwood in the shotgun. Carter King beside him. And we did it again!
Oh, again.
We did it again! Offsides on Ausable Valley. I know that penalty by heart now. I'm learning. 1:23 left to go. I think that's a first down Raiders. Let's see if Tom Miller says it.
First down Raiders.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, first down Raiders. He had some gusto underneath that one. 1:20 left to go here in the third quarter of play. If there was a record for penalties in a high school football game, you might want to start looking for it. 1:12 left to go here in the third quarter. Ball's now at the Ausable Valley 45 in the middle of the field. Eastwood going to turn around, hand it off to Gage Charleston. Charleston trying to find some running room. He's going to get about a yard there, and is that going to be a Gage Charleston carry without a penalty? I think so. There we go, Gage. I tell you what, though, if Gage gets open, they give him a little bit of wiggle room, that kid can fly.
Absolutely.
But so far, it just hasn't happened yet. But that is a play, though, without a penalty. We'll take it. 2nd down and 9 here. 36 seconds left to go here in this third quarter of play. Massena with a 36-7 lead on the North Country Savings Bank scoreboard. It is 2nd and 9. They're going to put LeBrake in motion. LeBrake's going to get the ball, and he is taken down hard in the backfield. Number 50 for Ausable Valley. Number 50 for Ausable Valley will be Jesse Snow. And I got to tell you what, Jesse Snow has been having a pretty good game for Ausable Valley. It's Jesse Snow.
It is Snow?
Yeah, Jesse Snow. He's been having a pretty good game over there for Ausable Valley on defense. They are. And that's going to do it for this third quarter of play. Put 4 fingers up. We've reached the fourth quarter here at Mike Nicholas Field. And on the, we'll call it Blood and Seaway Motors scoreboard, it is your Massena Raiders 36, Ausable Valley 7. And when we come back, we will have a 3rd and 15. Don Despal, while we have a moment to collect ourselves, can you give me those sponsors once again?
Yes, sir. I like you. CCOM, Federal Credit Union with locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, Watertown, South Burlington, and Essex, Vermont. You can check them out online at ccom.org and mobile on your smartphone. Also, Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition, developing plans, strategies that will reduce and prevent substance abuse and misuse among youth and adults in our community. And also MX Fuels, 22 Center Street, Massena, providing quality fuels at great prices here in Northern New York. We thank all those great sponsors making this broadcast possible.
And I also want to give a shout-out to the man who sits next to me on all these broadcasts, Mr. Don Despla. I'm going to embarrass him here for a second, folks, and he can't do anything about it because I have the microphone.
Where's the microphone?
No. So, hey, I want to give a shout-out to Donnie Despla because last season, you know, when I got the privilege of calling these games, the one thing that I couldn't overcome is the fact that I don't drive. And so if it wasn't for Donnie, we would not have gotten to all those road games. And so I want to thank Don Despla for not just doing it last season, but also being my partner this season. So I want to thank him for that.
You're welcome. Last year we had some interesting driving, didn't we?
We certainly did, my friend. This year we got 5 home games. Here comes Gage Charleston with a run. He's going to get down to the 45-yard line on 3rd and 15. That's going to make it a 4th and I guess you would say more manageable, but a pretty good carry there. I think Tom said 4th and 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4th and 10 for Massena coming up here. Ball's at the Ausable Valley 45-yard line. And I'm wondering, because I do not see our quarterback out there, I think this is going to be a punt by Carter King. Now, earlier in warm-ups, Carter King was hitting like 30-yard punts. So let's see what he can do here from the Ausable Valley 45. He gets the snap. He punts it. Woo! What a punt. That's going to dot there at the 15, roll close to the end zone, and unfortunately it rolls into the end zone, but a great punt there by Carter King. He's saying, hey, I can do some other things too. 11-11. Let's go here in this fourth quarter of play. On the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard, it is Massena with a big lead there, 36-7 over the Ausable Valley Patriots. Of course, as we look ahead, we know next week for Massena, they will be back home, and they will be taking on the Malone Huskies next week. And I just want to see if we have a score update for that Malone game. And my stepmom, she texted me. She says, I throw a flag too. So they're throwing flags down there in Atlanta right now.
Thank you. I love it. Oh, my goodness.
So I have not gotten another update from the Malone game. But again, I can tell you that for Massena, they will be playing against Malone. We got to get back to the current action, though.
I get a sense of power when I throw that flag.
Oh, me too, my friend. Here we go. They're going to hand the ball off here. Number 20 for Ausable Valley. He kind of tripped over his own steps there. If he doesn't, that's a much bigger play for Ausable Valley. But that's number 20 for Ausable Valley, and that would be Rowan Rubadoo. I hope I said that right. 11:05, 2nd and 7 after a gain of about 3 yards there. No flag, by the way, on that last play. Just want to let you know that at home. 10:54. And that ball is going to be on the near hash towards the 20-yard line of Ausable Valley, but it's going to move forward after this next play. It's a big one for Ausable Valley, and they're doing everything they can to push their runner forward. That ball, though, is going to get Ausable Valley a first down, and now they're going to start their next series of downs here from the 35-yard line of Ausable Valley. So a pretty good run there. Again, they've just been keeping the ball on the ground, but they are gaining yards. And I know that's something that Coach Morrill for Massena is looking at, saying, I don't like that, even though
a run team will like it.
And I think they may have seen some things from Potsdam last week, now that I think about it. But okay, Goodman is going to toss it out to number 2 for Ausable Valley. That is Sean Hosler there with the run, and that's going to be a gain of about 5 yards there. And again, I'm saying that because last week, what did we notice about Potsdam? When they threw the ball, it was on a boot play.
Yep.
And then they were under center for the majority of the rest of the game, running the ball just like Ausable's doing. So my thought here is that Ausable saw, hey, Potsdam was able to get 30 on Massena by doing it this way. Let's try to do it like that too. That's my thought. 9:38. Let's go here in the fourth quarter of play. It is 2nd and 5 here from the Ausable Valley 40-yard line. Their quarterback, Goodman, under center. He's going to turn around, and he's going to boot out. Here comes that throw. He's going to try to load up and toss it out wide. And he had a bunch of people in his face on that play. Number 74, Lennox Pierce, was one of the ones for Massena in on that play. And again, Lennox Pierce on that one, and Thomas Benham in on that as well, both making it to where the Ausable Valley quarterback, Goodman, was not able to see the guy running downfield. Because there was somebody running downfield, and I think if he would have had a little more time to load up and throw it, he may have just found that person, but not going to happen because of our defensive line. So huge shout-out to both of those players, Benham and Pierce. All right, 9:24. Let's go here in this fourth quarter play. It's 3rd and 5 from Ausable Valley's 40-yard line. Ball's in the middle of the field, but hold everything. We got ourselves a timeout from Ausable Valley. All right, so while we have a moment to catch our breath, I just want to point out to folks who are listening at home, this season, one of the things that our athletic director, Gavin Regan, wanted to accomplish is he wanted to play more out of Section 10 games. because he believes what we all believe, which is this team could be pretty special. And if you want to be special towards the end of the season, you got to have that type of experience. So he went out and he got games against Saranac Lake and Ausable Valley. And I'm not trying to make anybody too excited, but I just want to say, first game of the season was 24-14, Massena won. And in this game, they're up 36-7 against two teams that are not bad teams from Section 7. Just throwing that out there for the folks at home. You know, when you're playing those tougher opponents and you're actually doing good against them, it's like, oh, okay, let's see.
Broaden the horizons a little bit. I think it's good.
Exactly. Yeah. And I also love this year's schedule because it's 5 home games and I live a mile away from the field, as does Donnie Despaw. So we appreciate that, Gavin. You've certainly won some fans here from WMSA Radio.
Great thing about Massena, the parking lot, and where we are, it's not 2 miles.
Right. It's not 3 miles to get to the press box, which is nice. All right, 3rd and 5 from Sable Valley's 40-yard line. They're going to pitch it out here to Fletcher. Fletcher going to try to get that first down. He is going to get undercut, though. And I think he fumbled the ball, but he got it back, and that is number 22 for Massena. Number 22 for Massena is Parker O'Neill, who was in on that tackle.
They're probably putting some other kids the last time.
I think so, because there's some numbers that I don't recognize.
Yeah.
Which I will say, so this is just kind of a brief, funny story while I have a second. So at the beginning of the year, I got the opportunity to go out to practice and get audio from all the kids so we can play the player intros at the beginning of the game and actually hear the kids' voices as we do it. I neglected to get their jersey numbers, though, so that's on me. But we did get their first and last name and their position. So I know that. I just don't know the numbers. Anyway, here comes another run up the middle. It was a first down for Ausable Valley. They're going to get about 5 more yards after that run. So that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5. We'll see. Ball, by the way, is going to be spotted right in the middle of the Massena M. 2nd down and 6 is what Tom Miller is saying. 8:26 and rolling here in this 4th quarter of play. Again, on the Blevins Two-Way Motor scoreboard, it is Massena 36, Ausable Valley 7. Ausable Valley with the ball, though, and they've been run, and more run. So let's see what they do here on this 2nd and 6 from the 50. Ball in the middle of the field. They're going to hand it off to number 2 once again, and here comes Sean Hosler, thank you, Donnie, on a pretty good run there and another first down. That was a gain of, I want to say, about 10 to 12 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So another run up the middle, and it's a pretty good one for the Ausable Valley Patriots.
Yeah, they're just contentalized, obviously. They're run, you know.
And here's the thing, I'm not bored by it because it's working. And I'm sure for Massena, they're going to look at that and say, why is it working? We need to get that fixed.
That's the way exactly.
7:46 here, 1st and 10. And here we go. They're going to hand the ball off. Woo! Oh, boy, that is a big hit there by number 52. Number 52, that is
Jensen.
Nolan Jensen in on that hit. Oh, my goodness.
Nice.
That running back had a first-class ticket to destination nowhere on that one. Woo! Oh, man. 7:20 left to go. You know what? Next time they call that play, I bet you that running back says, Coach, can we call something different? 7:14 left to go here in this 4th quarter of play. We're having fun. 36-7, 2nd down here and 10. Do they run that play again? Do they dare to do it? Let's see. Goodman under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to hand it off to a different running back now. Here comes Fletcher running to the near side. Michael Martinez chasing, and he is going to get him out.
John Fletcher,
the running back for Ausable Valley. Was it a touchdown?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought he ran him out of bounds. He ran out of view here on me. So, Tom, was that a touchdown?
Yeah.
No, not a touchdown. Okay. So they got close, though. Ball is going to be at the 6-yard line of Massena. Yeah, here in front of my window, there's a part of the field that I can't see, and that's where that play ended up at. So me and Donnie were both trying to see what was happening here. Okay, so after a big run by Fletcher, Goodman going to hand it off once again to Fletcher, and that is going to be a touchdown. For Ausable Valley. Oh, flag on the play. Hold everything. Hold everything. Who is that flag going to be on? Is it going to be holding on Ausable? We don't have Vic Perry right now. I'm lost. I'm looking at Corey Snyder. Corey Snyder's looking at me. Corey, do we know what that penalty was? Do we know what that penalty was? We do not. It was a penalty, though.
And the governor scored, maybe?
I'm trying to see. I don't know if I have that at the moment. No. But let's see here. They did call that a touchdown, so that's going to be 36-13 at the moment. 6:22 here in the fourth quarter. Fletcher with a touchdown. They are going to line up for the extra point. I know at halftime, Governor was up over Malone 48-0. So I do know that. But I have not. and Mira was up here just a second ago. Hi, Mira. How's it doing? She is not content to listen from this. Like, you just got to look, because when we're doing good, you'll see Mira like, hey, even if we're not, but I think they're going to try an extra point. But they've been waiting a while, so just give me a moment. But, Mira, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Good to see it. Up for Brad, and nice to see Brad here for the Fallen Raiders team for the day. As always, it's always good to remember those that have gotten to this point and that we have lost along the way a little too soon. So thank you for everybody for coming out. I've missed the yells and the screams, and it is very comforting to see that it is ongoing.
Yeah, we certainly love that. And it looks like they are lining up to go for the extra point after that little bit of a delay. Kick is up. It is good. Okay. So that is going to make it 36-14, Ausable Valley. 2 touchdown drives in their last 2 drives. Mira, it was great catching up with you.
I'll see what I can find out.
Okay. So Mira, I think, is going to try to figure out what the score is in that Governor game for us. And I better check my text messages because I know that Bob LaRue is always, 55-14 final score. Governor beats Malone. 55-14 was the final score in that game. So I don't know if Mira heard that or not, but I want to make sure somebody else did. So again, Governor beats Malone 55-14.
She left the building on my...
I think she did. Well, I do want to thank Bob LaRue because he always sends me score updates.
Yep.
So I want to thank Bob LaRue for that. Of course, you guys know Bob LaRue. Of course, he's been doing all sorts of stuff for North Country Sports and obviously on WMSA Radio. He is our newsman. That's right. So, Bob, want to say thank you to you. I don't know if you're listening or not, but thank you very much for all you do here in the North Country. We appreciate you. By the way, big news coming up for Bob LaRue at the end of this month. I don't want to spoil what it is, but it's something pretty historic. I'll tell you more about that during the show next week. You should tune in. 6:22, that is where we are right now. And again, last 2 drives for Ausable Valley, 2 touchdowns. 36-14. That is where we are right now. And you start thinking about it and you go, okay, there's 6:22 left. Maybe they actually try an onside kick here. We'll see. As they get ready to kick it. Here comes the kick. It is a deep, nice kick, actually. Garrett Weir is going to try to get it, but he didn't get 2 hands on it. Now he's got 2 hands on it, and he's running back. Here we go. Down to the 40, and he's going to get escorted out of bounds, and there's a flag. Late hit.
Ausable, yes.
Yep. It's almost to the point where people in the stands say, you can't do that. You can't. Yeah, anyway. 6:15, that's where we are right now. Another flag, and that's going to help Massena out, though, because they were hitting Garrett Weir there out of bounds. I mean, Massena has got the track around the field. Weir was on the track when he got hit. Just pointing that out. 6:15. 15-yard penalty against Ausable Valley. So this next drive is going to start at the 45-yard line of Ausable Valley. And I'm laughing because what cracks me up is when a high school team huddles up and they're not seeing the referees move the ball. So then when the linemen turn around, they go, oh, I got to run an additional 10 yards because they marched off the penalty. That always cracks me up. But here we go. From the 45-yard line, ball in the middle of the field. Eastwood going to hand it off to Carter King. Carter King is going to try to find some running room here. And he's going to get taken out of bounds after a loss on the play of about 2 yards, I want to say. They have done a good job. I mean, obviously Carter King has got 2 touchdowns on the day, but I will say Ausable Valley's done a good job, though, of keeping him in check most of the game.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to call it like that because I know
Make some good plays, Ausable Valley. Yeah.
And again, I hate to call it like that because I know we're the Massena Raider station, but we got to call it like it is, though. Ausable Valley's been playing good defense against Carter King today, outside of those 2 touchdowns. They're going to toss it to LeBrake. LeBrake is going to the far side of the field, and that is going to be a pretty good gain there. Gain of 5 yards for Massena. And it was that jet sweep play once again. 4:55 left to go here in this fourth quarter. 3rd and 7. Ball at the Ausable Valley 42. And Eastwood's in the shotgun. He's got Carter King beside him. I'd be shocked if this is a throw, but we'll see. As they're looking here, 10 seconds to snap the ball. They're going to put number 21 in motion. Number 21 for Massena is coming around the outside. Oh, here we go. Number 21 for Massena is running down the sideline. Going to be another touchdown. It is. Touchdown Raiders. Aiden Beckstead there with the touchdown run. And I'm wondering if that's a run or if I think that's actually a pass because it's a jet sweep play, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll call that a touchdown pass because I believe that's how it will show up in the stats.
That's what he was
But Aiden Beckstead, he was able to get that and run a pretty decent way. So obviously congratulations to Beckstead on that. On the jet sweep, Beckstead.
Spreading it across the field, right?
42 points for Massena. Could I get my 50-piece? I'm hoping for one. Fourth quarter here, 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Eastwood to Beckstead, because, again, that does technically count as a pass. So that makes 4 touchdown passes for Eastwood today. And that kick is good. That's going to make it 43-14. Dominic Murtaugh there with that extra point. And, again, that is 4 touchdown passes. 4 touchdown passes there. And I was told by Corey Snyder that Gavin Regan was showing some of his athletic ability as he threw it back to the referees. A perfect spiral by the athletic director. Does he have any eligibility left? I wonder. 4:15 left to go. 43 points. That's pretty. It's not so pretty when it's on the other side of the scoreboard, though. I will say that. I've been on that side of things. It's not fun.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have. I got beat 89-0, and I'm not saying that to be proud because it was certainly not proud. I don't want to relive that, so we're going to move on. 43-14. Woo! All right. So, again, that last play, Aiden Beckstead. Huge play by Aiden Beckstead. And to Aiden Beckstead's family, I apologize for not knowing the last name. I got it figured out, though, by the time he got to the end zone because it was that long of a play. So, obviously, congratulations to Aiden Beckstead. Yep. And, again, I do believe that counts as a pass because that was a jet sweep. So that is 4 touchdown passes for Connor Eastwood today. It's good when your high school quarterback throws 4 touchdowns in a season. When you get 4 in a game, that's really special.
Good, yeah.
4:17 left here. Massena up 43-14. And Dominic Murtaugh going to kick it off here. Here comes the kick. It's a squibber. It's going to bounce at the 30. Ooh, we picked it up with a full head of steam. Uh-oh. Here comes Ausable Valley down the sideline to the 30 and escorted out of bounds there.
A full head of steam, Elijah.
Donovan Turner is the reason why I'm not calling a touchdown for the Ausable Valley Patriots. Donnie?
Yeah, you were right, a full head of steam. Boy, you could see him just going. Just caught the ball, the bounce, everything. He was wow.
So, Ausable Valley, they're going to start their next drive here with 4:10 left.
55-14.
55-14, 58-14. That's what I'm being told by Mira Gamble. Mira, thank you. And 4:10 left to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Timeout for Massena. So when they do come back out on the field, it will be a 1st and 10 for Ausable Valley. Ball is going to be on the far hash at the Massena 34-yard line. And what I'm interested to see here is what Ausable Valley does and what we let them do on offense. You know, like how many yards did we give up on this drive? I'm curious to see that because Ausable Valley, the last 2 drives, despite them being, down on the scoreboard, last 2 drives have been touchdowns. And I know Coach Jim Morrill is going to be, losing it on that sideline. Maybe not losing it. Maybe that's not the right word to use, but he's going to be looking for answers. Because
he definitely,
a lot of teams are going to look at this footage and they're going to say, well, it can be done. You know what I mean? And again, it looks like Ausable Valley is using the Potsdam playbook from last weekend. And again, they got 14 points so far in this game. They are down 43-14 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, but Ausable Valley, to their credit, has not given up. Goodman is under center for them. He is going to drop back and boot out the throw. We've seen this play before. He's going to load up. He's got his man, number 88, for Ausable Valley. Ausable Valley is going to run and get close to the end zone. 88, that is Jack Thomas for Ausable Valley, and it's that boot rollout play. That has been an issue for Massena. Again, going back to last week, that was an issue. It's an issue again in this game, and again, I hesitate to say much more than that because I don't want to give things away. But, I mean, listen, if they're looking at footage, they're going to say, okay, boot rollout. That seems to be an issue for them. That's just how that is. But 3:44 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Again, Massena is up 43-14 on the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard. And Ausable Valley is threatening once again. They're going to hand the ball off up the middle to number 40. That's going to be a touchdown for Ausable Valley. Don't look now, but here comes Ausable Valley. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to go. Number 40. And number 40 would be Ian Bombard. So the other Bombard gets a touchdown. There's 2 of them on Ausable Valley. And that is another touchdown run. That makes it 43-20 with an extra point to come. That's 3 straight touchdown drives for Ausable Valley.
Yeah.
And all of it has basically come from running the ball and bootleg throws. Here comes the hold. The kick is up. The kick is good. That's going to make it 43-21. Facto with the extra point. I would dare say it's not just respectable. It might be a little bit scary. Because for Massena, I mean, at halftime, you and I were talking about when it was 30-0, you and I were talking about how much longer did the starters play for Massena?
Right.
And then after you and I had that conversation, which hindsight maybe we shouldn't have had, Ausable Valley comes out with 3 straight touchdown drives.
That's impressive. It is.
So it kind of makes it more difficult because
they're playing their game and it's working. So.
And I will say, I believe Massena has mixed in some of those guys that don't normally get a chance to play.
Right, they have.
And that may be part of the reason why Ausable Valley is doing what they're doing. But again, that's 3 touchdown drives in a row for Ausable Valley. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to go. It's 43-21, probably out of range for them. And I don't want to say onside kick again, but, I mean, it's kind of the open-ended question, right?
Well, there's the time to do it, Elijah. That would be it.
I just feel like every drive they want to do that. I don't know. But let's see here. As they get ready to kick it, Facto is going to kick it for Ausable Valley. It is an onside kick. And we cover it up. That is number 22 covering up that onside kick for Massena. And 22 would be Parker O'Neill. Thank you very much, Tom Miller.
That's the name.
3:31 left to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Raiders are going to have the ball here at their own 47-yard line. Eastwood jogging back out there at quarterback. And if you're wondering, why is Eastwood still in there at quarterback after the team is up 43-21? The backup quarterback for Massena, I believe, is Tefani LeBrake, so it's not like you would actually be going to a backup. So here we go. Eastwood is in the shotgun formation. He is going to hand the ball off to Carter King. Carter King coming downhill with a full head of steam. Here we go. Carter King trying to bounce through people, stepping over people.
Not give up.
He said, get out of my way. Carter King there with a huge run. Gain of 17 yards on that play. First down, Raiders. 2:53 left to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Massena on the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard up 43-21 over Ausable Valley. John Despot, Elijah Winfrey on the call for you for WMSA Radio. And the ball is going to be at the Ausable Valley 35. Gage Charleston. He is the sidecar, if you will, to Eastwood in the shotgun formation. Ball in the near hash, by the way, in case I didn't say that. Eastwood going to hand it off to Charleston. Charleston going to kick it outside. He's got the running room. Come on, Gage. He is going down to the 20, running down towards the 15. A nice run. Do we have any flags? We do not. We do not. I wanted to hold the audience at home in suspense. But no, there's no flags. There's no flags on that play, thankfully.
Nice run. I love that. Yeah.
2:15 left to go here in this fourth quarter. That clock keeps ticking, as Chris Berman would say. 43-21. That is the Raiders score for you right now on the Blevins Seaway Motor scoreboard. Massena with the 43. Ausable Valley with the 21. Massena at the 15-yard line, by the way. They're going to toss it to Beckstead. Here comes Beckstead once again, finding a little wiggle room. Come on, Aiden. He is running down. Oh, my goodness. Now, that should be a flag. I didn't know we were out here at SummerSlam. My goodness. There it is. There's the flag. We got one. You can't do that. You cheat. Oh, they gave it to come on. Apparently the flag was on us. My bad. I was premature with my celebration. I feel embarrassed now. We're going to move on. 1:38. That's where we are right now. Fourth quarter.
WrestleMania.
It was like WrestleMania out there. Aiden Beckstead was like, hey, I'm just trying to play football. I'm not trying to do all that. My goodness. Ausable Valley taking out their frustrations. 1:38. 15-yard unsportsmanlike from our rules official, Corey Snyder. Thank you, Corey. And that's going to back us up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I will say this, though, and I don't mean to sound obnoxious, but I don't want to sound obnoxious, but every time they back us up, we get an amazing play. So let's see. Maybe we can do that again. But for Aiden, I will say Aiden found some running room there. It didn't look like he had a lot of running room, but he made his own running room. So good job for Aiden Beckstead on that play, and obviously good job for our offensive line. I mean, man, they have played great all game long. This offensive line has for Massena, giving people enough time, giving Eastwood enough time to find his receivers, giving the running backs running lanes to go through. This offensive line, man, it's hard for me because we usually do a WMSA player of the game. And, yes, we have players out there on the field today with multiple touchdowns, but I'm tempted to give offensive player of the game to that offensive line. I'm very tempted.
You know what? Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what we do here in about a minute and 30, but that's where my mindset is. Because this offensive line, they might be the best in Section 10 from what I've seen.
Yep, I agree with you.
Now, obviously, next week, that's going to be interesting. I think we can talk about next week now because there's only a minute 32 left in this game. But next week is going to be Malone. They're coming to town. That's Hall of Fame weekend for Massena. That's a big, big opportunity there. And for Malone, I've been high on them all season, maybe prematurely because I thought their offense was going to be one of the best in Section 10. They have gone up, though, against two powerhouses in Peru and Governor. You know, two of their first three games were against tough opponents. Peru, first week of the season, Governor today. And against Peru, they lost 49-8. Against Governor, they lost 58-14. They did get a win over Canton, though. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out next week. But right now, we got Michael Martinez beside Eastwood here for this 1st and 15 with a minute 22 left. Eastwood is just going to do Massena's version of the victory formation, which is bad for his rushing yards, but that's great for us as a team. So, by the way, if you're ever looking at Max Preps and you're going, why does Connor Eastwood have, like, negative yardage? It's because they line up in the shotgun to do their victory formation where he takes the knee.
They'll just take
So, we're going to do a couple more knees here, and that's going to do it here for this third week of football. Massena, by the way, getting to 3-0 for the first time since 2016. It's been a while, but Massena is 46 seconds away from realizing that goal. And I know Coach Zappia will say, hey, we are 0-0 with one to go. But in the bigger picture of, things, bigger picture of things, I should say, you're going to see a lot of people here next weekend. You see a lot of people here every weekend for Massena football, but you might see even more people who wake up and say, wait a minute now, we're 3-0. I might want to get out to a game. So, again, 22 seconds left. 2:30 next week. 2:30 next week is going to be kickoff for Massena and Malone, and I am very excited for that game. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back, but for the most part, we'll give out our WMSA players of the game here in a moment.
It's time for the postgame show. Here's Elijah Winfrey and Don Despaw.
Yeah, that's right. We are back here at Mike Nicholas Field to wrap things up after yet another Massena Raiders victory. That makes 3 in a row if you're counting at home, and we officially have a winning streak. I've heard people say, winning streaks only count when you get to 3. Well, we got to 3 today, and we did so with a whole bunch of offense, which we'll talk about here in a moment. First, though, Don Despaw, we could not be here watching this victory without
the sponsors, of course, Seacom Federal Credit Union, locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, Malone, Ogdensburg, Plattsburgh, Watertown, South Burlington, and Essex, Vermont. Check them out online at seacom.org and mobile on your smartphone. Massena Drug-Free Community Coalition developing plans and strategies that will reduce and prevent substance misuse among youth and adults in the community, and MX Fuels, 22 Center Street, Massena, providing quality fuels at great service and great prices in Northern New York. How about it? Thank you, sponsors.
All right, so let's get to me and Donnie's favorite part of every game, which is our WMSA players of the game. So on offense, we have a lot of options, okay? Let me just say for a moment, we have a lot of options. Obviously, Connor Eastwood, he had, I believe, 4 touchdown passes today. We also had Carter King with 2 rushing touchdowns today. Pretty much everybody contributed in their own way in this game. But I am going to give it to the folks who never hear their name called unless it's for a penalty, and that is our offensive line. They are our offensive player of the game. So for those big fellas, you know who you are. We could not do this without you. We appreciate you, and we love all the work you've put in and day out to help this football team get to 3-0. And so whenever I post this on Facebook later, on the WMSA Facebook page, the only thing I would ask is parents of the offensive line, if your kid played some snaps today, please comment, okay? Please comment on that post so we can get their individual names out there. Yep. I am just so scared of missing a name right now, so that's why I'm saying Massena's offensive line, whether they played a couple snaps or they played the majority of the snaps, hey, y'all did really, really well. So thank you for what you do, big fellas, and we got to give it up for them. So for Massena's offensive line, they're going to get offensive player of the game. For defensive player of the game, we're going to give it up to Michael Martinez today. Made a whole bunch of tackles. So Michael Martinez, defensive player of the game. And then special teams player, it was a little difficult to figure this one out, but we're going to go with Garrett Weir, who was, kind of dynamic out, not kind of, he was dynamic out there as a kick return man. And again, for Massena's offense, they were on fire today. Let me go through the scoring recap. First quarter, 3:21 left, Eastwood to Murtaugh, that's a touchdown. Then in the second quarter with 3:19 left, Eastwood to Weir. 3:18 left to go here in the second quarter. I should say 5:19 left to go. Hard to read my own handwriting because it's like chicken scratch. But anyway, 5:19 in the second quarter. That was Eastwood to Weir. 3:18 in the second quarter. That was Carter King's rushing touchdown. Then 42 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Eastwood to Murtaugh, and that put us up 30-0 at halftime. Then in the third quarter, with 9:38 to go, Carter King got another rushing touchdown, and then Ausable Valley started to come back into this thing. Third quarter, with 4:58 left, Bombard gets a touchdown. Then with 6:22 left in the fourth quarter, Fletcher got a touchdown. Massena, though, would get that crucial final touchdown, though. Eastwood to Aiden Beckstead. We're calling it a pass because it was a sweep play, which we've known as a passing play all season long. But Aiden Beckstead got in the end zone for a touchdown, and then, of course, Ausable Valley finished off the scoring with 3:33 left to go in the fourth quarter. Ian Bombard, the other Bombard, getting a touchdown. That makes your final score Massena 43, Ausable Valley 21. And so for Massena, they had 2 Section 7 opponents that they added to the schedule this year to get experience out of Section, and they beat both of them. They are 3-0 for the first time since 2016. Are you hearing what I'm saying, Massena? You have a 3-0 football team. And next week, they play at home, 2:30 kickoff against the Malone Huskies. And I'll tell you right now, what I've been saying all summer long, this game is going to be a matchup, in my opinion, of the 2 best quarterbacks in Section 10. Logan Peck for Malone and our guy, Connor Eastwood, for Massena. So I am excited to see them duel it out. Obviously, it's more than just those 2 players. It's everybody. I get that. But, again, if this was like an ESPN College Game Day type situation, those are the 2 guys that you would be looking at and hearing a lot about. So get ready, and you're hearing about both of those guys for good reason. So should be an exciting one next week. We'll have it for you here on WMSA Radio. Again, kickoff for next week, 2:30. We'll probably start pregame. It depends. It depends on how long the coach's show is this week. So we'll see. I know a big point of emphasis for Massena, though, the penalties. Yes, they got the win 43-21, but I'm sure if you talk to Coach Zappia out in the community, he will tell you we're working on the penalties. But, hey, they're working on the penalties with a 3-0 record, and that's what you want. So, hey, for Massena, they get the victory 43-21. I believe that's going to do it for Donnie Despaw and I. Let me tell you what's coming up on the radio side here as I get this all situated for you.